Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. And I hate being the I told you so guy. Nah, really. I love being the I told you so guy. But looks like we broke the 003 like I said we would before the weekend. Now we're looking for the 005. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you know where it's at. And you've been riding out with your main man BTM the whole time. Let me know what you guys think about that. Are we on the right path? And are we here to help you keep it pushing? So thanks for joining. Go ahead and share the video, share the stream, tell everyone, tell your mom, sisters, boyfriends, barber, we're coming, bro. We are here and we're about to light it up. Let's go. What up, Bay? What's going on with your fam? My guess is the price increase is coming before XRP Vegas and a recent picture from a Zebec. Yes. I think it's going to be a lot more coming. And the the AMA spaces yesterday. Honestly, I don't know what you guys think. I don't really get a whole lot out of the AMA, right? I mean, they talk and they kind of give us information, but it's generic, right? It's no, oh my God moments. There's no, wow, that's interesting. It's kind of stuff we kind of know about and been watching and stuff we were already prepared for. So I don't really get a whole lot of the AMA. I mean, it's cool. Oh, man. But the weird thing, too, is for some reason with Twitter, my dang Twitter goes off midstream, right? It'll go for a while and then it'll stop playing, just randomly stop playing, which is kind of weird. But I don't know why that happens. Like it'll play and then midway through it just stops, like the volume cuts off. So then I have to reconnect and come back in. So I don't know if that's happening to anyone else, but for mine, it always happens. Without fail, it's gonna stop playing. If Ripple and Zebec partner, we will see things. We will see new highs in the bear market. At some point, we will be listed on Binance and Coinbase, also super bullish. You're right. And Coinbase is a sponsor of Zebec, so there's no rush there. I'm just questioning what's going on with Binance. And I almost think Binance is not listing for some particular reason. And I'm not 100% sure what's going on with Binance. But as I said, I don't trust the exchanges, no way. So if you are holding your crypto on the exchange, get it off the exchange, because if there is a price surge and people start selling, the exchanges will freeze you out. So you can't move it, bring it up, bring it down, either way. Yeah, we are in the threes. We're headed to a half a penny soon. So wait, if you're not in, it's over a penny. If you're not in, it's over after a penny. Correct. What up, Silver? What up, Peter? What up, Crow? What up, Zebec? What is this? Oh, it's me, actually. Bay, Peter OG, Crow, Quarter Crawler. What's up with you, fam? I see you done slid back out, bro. Where you been, man? You guys been missing in action. But welcome back. What is it, Quarter Crawler? Dance with who brought you to the party. You already know. What's good, fam? Peter. Simon will begin to release dozens of NDAs with American companies. Silver Days, Quarter Crawler, Richard. Because AMAs are BS. They are asking questions like marriage at dinner, reps and recipes and shit. Of course they are. That's why the charts move like this. Too many women in this, bro. Silver, what it do? Hey, Zebec is the new A plus. Simon will release dozens of NDAs with American companies. XRP collaboration is huge. Binance, Coinbase will follow. I call 2 to 6 billion market cap by August. That would be awesome. But I got a couple of, actually, I got quite a few. And that's the thing. So, you know, I'm on YouTube every day. We're making videos. We're posting. We live, bro. We are live. And I'm pushing the Zebec merch, the hat, which nobody picked up, the shirt, which is in super rotation on Etsy. I might see if it's still there because for some reason the freaking listings stop and they don't even tell you. So people will buy the shirts, which is horrible. People will buy the shirts and the listings posted and it doesn't send them the shirt. So then it takes your money and it refunds your money, which they could at least tell me the freaking shirt got delisted, bro. But I'm going to go back and check that today. I need to make a note because I suspect we're going to be swinging a lot of shirts pretty soon. And I'll put the link on my X at some point. So I need to check the Etsy shirts. But let's go to these shorts. And that's what I'm saying. You know there's something coming because at first, when you look at shorts, let me see, is it still open? Yeah. For a while, when I looked at shorts, there was nothing, right? There was nothing here under the short list. And now look at this. New videos. Everyone's talking about Zebec again. Zebec is hot. Everybody's making Zebec videos out of nowhere. New content creators, get ready. Money and Me is back. I swear, man, some of these guys, I'm not saying Money and Me, but some of these guys only make videos when they are green, right? Whenever
CBCN is on the move again, and I'm going to tell you why.
Not Money and Me again, but whenever they go green, you get a lot of videos. When it's red, ain't nobody talking about nothing, right? Nobody is making videos. Nobody's making shorts. Nobody's saying nothing until the price starts to push a little bit, right? Get a little green and everybody comes out of the woodwork. And we've been here the whole time. So shout out to the BTM mob. Let's get it.
And that combination is not.
And actually, I wonder where those footers are. I wonder where they hating behinds are, right? I can't wait. Like I told them initially, I can't wait to XRP Vegas. I can't wait till they start giving the announcements and they start talking about it. And people are going to be like, oh, it's a scam. Zebec's not real, man. They're lying. Where these clowns at now, bro? I might see if I can find them and see what they have to think about it, bro. Because at some point, I told you guys, at some point it's going to start pumping and these guys are going to disappear like we knew they would. But let me get back to the shorts. I don't want to talk your ear off today.
Randomness. Most people are completely missing what this actually means. Because Circle, the ones behind USDC, just highlighted Zebec Network. At the same time, XRP and Stellar are pushing global payments and highlighting Zebec as well. And that combination is not randomness. Most people are completely missing what this actually means. Because Zebec isn't just partnered. It's sitting right in the middle of USDC, XRP, and Stellar infrastructure. Circle, the issuer of USD coin, just added Zebec to its alliance program. That program highlights companies actively building with USDC, not speculating, building. Inside Zebec Network, USDC is used for streaming payroll, real-time payments, continuous money movement, meaning you don't get paid every 2 weeks. You get paid as time passes. Now, here's where this connects to XRP and Stellar. And this is the part people are actually overlooking. Zebec expanded onto Stellar because Stellar is optimized for USDC payments. At the same time, XRP is being positioned globally for liquidity and settlement. So you end up with a stack. USDC, the digital dollar, Stellar, the payment rail, XRP liquidity layer, and Zebec Network, the real-world application for payroll and spending. That's not hype. That's a functional payment system. So when Circle, who's behind USDC, highlights Zebec Network, it's not just exposure. It's showing you where Zebec fits in the future of how money actually moves. And once you see that, you can't really unsee it. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Is this crazy? Zebec, XRP, Stellar, USD, Circle? What's next? Let me know. Share, comment, like, subscribe. Circle.
So shout out to Crypto News NE and the update about the Circle Alliance, which we knew was coming as well. This is Run My Crypto.
Bear market, because I know that, we all have that hope and desire that we go into a bull run altcoin season we have not seen yet. But I do think 2026 is the opportunity that's going to happen. If not, the other opportunity is we're going to go into an extended bear market. We'll go back into a bear cycle and then revisit a bull run in 2030. But I really don't think that's going to happen. I think by mid 2026, we're going to start to see a huge, significant jump in the market because there's some manipulation going on with gold and Bitcoin. Here's my thought on it. Here's my take on it. My take is the elites, those that are holding the most amount of gold, are driving the price up, selling it off so they can accumulate Bitcoin. That's what I think. We're going to have a huge shift in the market. But I do think that 2026 financially is going to be a huge, great year for people that have their own businesses, that work their ass off and do the right thing and sacrifice and discipline yourself to put money aside, to buy assets, to make yourself rich and prosperous. Markets are extremely low right now. I don't know if we're going into a bear market because I know that, we all have that hope and desire that we go into a bull run altcoin season we have not seen yet. But I do think 2026 is the opportunity that's going to happen. If not, the other opportunity is we're going to go into an extended bear market. We'll go back into a bear cycle and then revisit a bull run in 20.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying too. I suspect maybe these guys are selling off. That's where we're getting that manipulation from, because they're trying to squeeze. What up, Silver? What up, Alfred? They're trying to squeeze or shake people out, bro. And I've been saying that for months. And I guess people are just starting to come back around to it, or actually listen, or actually start watching my videos. But they're trying to shake people out, right? This is the big shakeout. So they're going to keep selling and keep trying to drop that price. So people will be like, oh, yeah, crypto's nothing. Crypto's going to fail. Why would you spend? I get people all the time talking about crypto's fake. Why are you making crypto videos? I got a whole slew of hate about Zebec. And I was like, look, just be patient, bro. I'm not even worrying about it. I'm not even stressing out. I'm not even talking to clowns. I'm not even worrying about it. The proof is in the pudding, guys. All you got to do is wait them out, right? And that's what I told these guys, right? I'm not going to be arguing with this fool back and forth every day. I'm busy, bro. I don't got time to be re-explaining and understanding and trying to make you believe, right? I'm gonna make you a believer. I don't gotta do anything but wait. All we gotta do is sit back and watch the money pile up. Let's see what this guy is talking about.
Is like a magic money hose, right? Instead of paying someone all at once like a normal salary, Zebec lets you send money streaming in real time, drip, drip, drip. Every second, it also does fast payments with crypto or stable coins, mostly USDC, but they have other stable coins listed as well. Plus, they make cards so you can actually spend that money being partnered with Visa, right? So the Canton Zebec partnership. Zebec didn't just shake hands with Canton directly. They teamed up with Lattice Finance, the very first neobank, like a cool new online bank, think about it that way, built inside the Canton playground. Here's what it means in kid terms, trying to explain it as simply as I can. Zebec brings its magic money hose, or real-time streaming payments and payroll, into Canton's fancy private clubhouse. Together with Lattice, they made the first MasterCard debit card that works right on Canton. Now, big institutions can take their on-chain crypto or stablecoin money, stream it instantly if they want, and spend it in the real world with a normal card.
And that is just around the corner. And them powering up with Canton is really going to push the price, bro. Is really going to start to get things rolling.
Coin, which is showing a steady move in the market right now. At the moment, CBCN is trading around $0.0029, and it's up about 9% today. That's a solid gain, and it's enough to bring this coin back into focus for traders watching short-term momentum. A 9% pump in a single day usually signals a noticeable increase in buying pressure. It's not an extreme breakout, but it's strong enough to suggest that interest is starting to build. Moves like this often act as early momentum signals, where traders begin entering positions before a potential larger move. With ZBCN, this kind of upward movement can quickly attract attention. As the price rises, more traders start noticing the coin, and that can create a chain reaction where additional buyers step in. This momentum effect can sometimes push the price even higher in the short term. However, it's important to stay cautious. A 9% gain can also trigger profit-taking. Traders who entered at lower prices may start selling to lock in gains, which can lead to short-term pullbacks. That's a normal part of market behavior, especially after a quick upward move. One key level to watch right now is around $0.0029. If CBCN can hold this level and build support, it could indicate that buyers are maintaining control. But if selling pressure increases and the price starts to drop, it may suggest that the momentum is fading. Another important factor is trading volume. If volume continues to rise along with the price, it usually means the move has strength behind it. But if volume starts to decrease, the current pump might just be a short-term fluctuation rather than the start of a sustained trend. The broader crypto market will also play a role. If overall sentiment remains positive, it can help support further gains for coins like CBCN. However, if the market becomes uncertain, even steady moves can slow down. Right now, CBCN is showing early signs of strength with this 9% pump. It's not a massive breakout, but it's enough to get traders paying attention again.
Right. Just enough to get the ball rolling again. And this is one more, and we'll
Looking
start.
ZBCN holders, if you are paying attention to ZBCN right now.
Actually, what's going on in chat? I want the chat to get away. This is Know What You Hold. What up, David? B. Tony Terry. ZBCN will be like a snowball effect at certain prices. It's going to double up fast. That's why I believe it could hit very close to $1 bull run. And remember, keep dollar cost averaging. Tony S, let's freaking go. Hard to DCA when I got in so early. My average only climbs when I buy. The prices may not last this long. Not financial advice, but we will see. I don't think so either. I think before now in XRP Vegas, things are going to run up. And I'm telling you, it's going to run up this weekend, guys. I wasn't expecting it to hit the 003 this fast, actually. So it's kind of threw me for a loop. And like I told you guys, why do my lines never stay on here? So this is the 005. This is if we went down to the 014. We held that line and pushed past the 003 like I said we would. Next line is the 005, and then we are off to the races. But let's finish this live. Let's finish this short, and then we'll start looking at the bubbles and get into analysis.
We are looking super bullish as of the time of recording this video, which comes right here, guys. Now, if you're paying attention to the RSI indicator of ZBCN right now, it shows that we are now at the zone of 63%, which comes right here. And this is a bullish momentum, but we are yet close to the strong bullish momentum for the price of the asset. As a matter of fact, we are not yet at the overbought territory for ZBCN coin, because the moment we get a further push towards the 68 area, or if I may say possibly 70 area, that will mark the overbought territory, or possibly around the 65 area to mark the overbought territory. Good to have you back once again, ZBCN holders. If you are paying attention to ZBCN right now, we are looking super bullish as of the time of recording this video, which comes right here, guys. Now, if you're paying attention to the RSI indicator of ZBCN right now, it shows that we are now at the zone of 63%, which comes right here. And this is a bullish momentum.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this guy today. It usually runs pretty smooth, so I don't know what's going on. But let's get to the bubbles. I'm got all day to be playing around with him and whatever's happening with the video. On another note, how about the NBA draft starting tonight? I thought it started tomorrow. I know it usually starts on Thursday, but I thought somebody said something about tomorrow, unless they were talking about tomorrow yesterday. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting, especially with the Cardinals not having a quarterback. It might throw a lot of people in the wind. Like 90 million market cap. Crazy to think that almost a year we were at the 0-0. I know, right? The 0-0 consolidating. I was buying XRP late at 33 cents and I bought. That was great. And I thought that was great. Yeah, no. I bought at 17 cents and lost some to a freaking scam and bought some more. I wish I'd have bought more at 17 cents. But let's look at the bubbles. So Tau, Tau's up 0.8 on the day, 0.3 on the hour, 3.8 on the week, down 22.3 on the month, and down 26.6 to $245.98. Pitch is up 2.6. Airdrone is up 6.5, 1.3 on the day, 19.5 on the week. Qual is up 4%. Hyperliquid is up 1.4. AIOX is up 1%. Arbitron is up 1%. Lithium is up 2.6 on the day, 0.7 down on the hour, up 22.9 on the week to 5 cents. And of course, our favorite payroll processor and the token of the day is up 10 places, down 1.1 on the hour, up 13.2 on the day, up 10.5 on the week, up 30.9 on the month and up 267 on the year. So this is X shout out to Maximus Crypto. I want to give a huge shout out to my good friend Rob and Rue of the Rue and Future Crew. They've got Zebec connections and we'll get that FUD stuck like glue. Also, a huge shout out to the Zebec Nation podcast for all their hard work. And this is, of course, the jersey, which I never heard anything back from anybody. So I guess that's another no-go. ZBCN has been building, and now the chart is starting to look like it wants more. If we push to 003, don't be surprised if this turns into a full momentum run before the XRP Vegas. The market sleeps. Then suddenly everybody chases green candles. We are about to take off. So this is RSI map top 300 cryptos. And this is highest RSI SharkNet. I'm not sure what SharkNet is. I'm checking them out. SharkNet STRK 79.8. Zebec Network. I think you guys heard of that one. 76.9. Undead Games 74.6. UDS. So let's see if we can find Zebec Network on here. Oh wow, way overbought. That's what I like. If you like it, I love it. So looking at the overall crypto market cap is 2.63 trillion, up 3.55. DNC 20 is 159.97, up 3.47. Fear and greed, which I told you guys, we're going to push on into greed and on into extreme greed before the end of April. XRP Vegas is going to put us right here somewhere. And then there's going to be a massive sell-off because guys are going to take profits and we're going to slide back down. 34 out of 100 altcoin season. And average crypto RSI is 56.37. Let's go. So we're getting back to overbought mainly because of this. Because of, dang it, missed that time. Us, right? We're literally pushing the whole market into the overbought territory. I'm just talking shit. I don't know if it's us, but something's pushing us, the crypto market, way to the overbought sector. So this is a ZBCN. Let me check the chat real quick. That ZBN bubble cast has big shadow. Bubble cast. Cast a big shadow. Oh, yeah, the bubble does cast a big. We're taking up half the chart, man. ZBN chart looks crazy. Reminds me a bit of XRP chart. Right. I keep thinking that. I keep just back and forth. XRP. ZBCN, XRP, ZBCN. It's almost like the same chart, man. I'm literally sometimes getting confused which chart is which. Like, what is this? Am I looking at XRP or am I looking at ZBCN? What am I looking at? What is going on out here? But as always, trying to find a song real quick. I'll just throw this on there because I'm kind of in a hurry. So you can see here we're at the 003, up 12.6% on the day. Market cap is 306 mil won, bro. I love it when we're in the 300, over 300 mil won. 12.6 up, 24-hour trading volume 13.47, up 109.7%. Let's go. How many holders we gone up in 24 hours? We're gonna get to that. Crow, BTM, my man. What up, brother? What up, Cray? What's going on with your fam? Silver, what up again, brother? What's going on with you guys? Zebec is the new XRP for sure, Peter. Let's check that real quick. So for holders, let me refresh this because I pulled it up earlier. I'm not even sure if it is still live. So currently we are at 101,000. Wow. 101,000 101,823. I remember when we were at 40,000, bro. That's almost 60,000 ago. So for 4 hours, we picked up 118, 12 hours, 239, the day 425, 3 days, 603 a week, almost 1,000 a week. That's pretty good. 997, 14 days, 1,562, and for 30 days, 2,975. I would be happy when it is back over 3,000 on the month, right? Because that means things are rolling. And like I was saying previously, that's when we really get some price going, right? When it pushes over that 3,000 a month threshold is when we are cooking, right? Clayton, let's freaking go. What up, Cajun Crypto? Good morning, Zebec family. Good morning, Cajun Crypto. Zebec, what up, Alfred? So shout out to my main man, Cajun. If you're not following him on X, make sure you check him out. He has been coming through lately with some good information. I was trying to see if there was a post from him. I thought there was. There we go. So here's it. My main man, Cajun Crypto. We broke the 003. Great job, ZBCN fam. So shout out to Cajun Crypto. Continue to be great. I guess we'll get into the actual updates. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, Zebec just walked up to the 003 like it pays rent there. We are live, and today we're going to talk about whether this is just another altcoin fake out or whether Zebec is quietly building something way bigger than most people realize. Because if the project is actually turning payroll cards, treasury, real payments rails into one machine, then this move might be about a lot more than one green candle. If we are here early, smash the like button because the chart is either about to look like a genius or we are need emotional support by Sunday. And hopefully we're not going to do emotional support by Sunday. Hopefully we're going to continue to run up and be live over the weekend, especially with the draft coming up. But as always, I think there's going to be some kind of weird disruption strictly because things are moving in the right direction. And I tell you that all the time. Every time things start going good, we get something weird that happens. Something weird to knock us right off the market, right? Something to slow us down. Today we're breaking down the ZBC, why ZBCN's over the 003 matters, what Zebec is actually building, and why payments infrastructure narrative is just getting more serious, and whether this thing has enough momentum to keep pushing into the weekend. And yes, we're absolutely talking about the chart because crypto doesn't care about your feelings, only support, resistance, and whether retail shows up late. So why today matters. First of all, let's set the stage. This stream is not just a ZBCN went up, everybody scream. The reason today matters is because ZBCN, Zebec is trying to move out of the category random altcoins and chew the category of real payment infrastructure with the actual product stack that is completely different conversation. Zebec's own Q1 2026 report says it launched a super app in late February combined with streaming payroll, cards, staking, payments, and treasury management into one platform. That matters because the market actually pays a higher multiples to projects that are building an ecosystem instead of the ones isolated features. So if you're wondering why people suddenly taking Zebec more serious, it's because the pitch is getting cleaner. Not just we have a token, but we have payroll rails, card rails, enterprise tools, stablecoin support, and a token that sits in the middle of it all. That's the kind of narrative that we start getting attention fast when price wakes up. Thank you, Maximus Crypto. Hey, BTM and the BTM crew, thank you for all you do. Keep up the great work, especially on ZBCN. Shout out to Maximum Crypto. Appreciate that, bro. Thank you for trying to keep the freaking lights on, brother. We are just trying to keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. And I really appreciate the super chats. And the Onyx coin too. People talking about the wacky BlackRock shit competing with Zebec. Maximus. And I want to say, I think I saw your posting here, actually, or we're talking about something you posted recently, but we'll check that out in a minute too once we get back over to X and see, because I do think you posted something pretty recently. I can't remember. But thanks for joining. You're welcome. No problem, my guy. Silver Days, what up? What up, brother? What up, Dave? What's going on with your fam? Back over to where were we? See if we can make this bigger. I like to have something in the background where we're running my mouth. The core Zebec bull case. Wait, did I skip something? Okay, yeah, type PayFi in the chat. In the chat, if you think payment infrastructure is one of the strongest narratives in crypto right now. Here's the bull case in plain English. Zebec is trying to become a financial operating system for crypto native payrolls and spendings. In the super app and the broader ecosystem, Zebec is used for platform fees, enterprise access, incentives, and buyback flywheel. And that is very different from a token that just exists with vibes in a government theater. Zebec says enterprise clients using payroll infrastructure, white label deployments, and institutional integrations pay platform access and usage fees and ZBCN. And it also says revenue across Zebec products contributes to a token buyback program on a regular cadence. So the story they want the market to understand is simple. More product usage means more ZBCN demand with more revenue linked buybacks. And that is the type of token modern crypto people love to hear, because it sounds like the dream combo: utility plus enterprise usage, buybacks, and a clearer story supply. Whether Zebec executes perfectly is another question, but as a live stream narrative. This is why the 0.003 feels important. The market may be starting to rate the token based on infrastructure, not speculation. ZBCN is trying to go from, hey, bro, check out this coin, to sir, this appears to be revenue connected payment infrastructure. And that's a glow up, right? You see how they changed the script completely on us? Hey, Dave. Dave, what up? What up, Silver, Maximum Payfi, Crypto, Cajun Crypto? Appreciate the shout out. If you're holding Zebec, you're already great. Mr. Max. So, thanks for all that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get the live stream rolling. Bring in your friends, your family, your moms, sisters, boyfriends. Barber, what Zebecs actually shipped recently? So now let's get into the receipts, because I don't know. Wait, I don't want this to sound like a bedtime story written by a moon boy. Zebec's Q1 report says the company launched a super app, reported 24.5 million biweekly payroll volume, 49 million monthly payroll volume, 13,100 employees across 243 enterprise clients, and card metrics include 65.1 million total card volume on a rolling 4-week annualized basis, 21,626 cards issued, 500K transactions available in 97 countries, and support for 100 plus tokens across 19 chains with 40 plus white label partners. Those are numbers they are putting in front of the market. If even part of the scale cleanly, then Zebec stops looking like a tiny niche crypto app and starts looking like a broader payment stack. The market trends to reward the shift when it believes the usage numbers are translating into durable demand. Chat, what impresses you more, the payroll volume, the card volume, or the 100K holders? Put payroll, cards, or holders in the chat. And I would think it's hard between the payroll and the holders. I'm probably going with the holders, though. And I told you guys, when we pump, we're going to pump, bro. And these holders are going to jump on like it's going out of style. Did they send cards in America yet? That's a good question, because I applied, actually, because these guys are saying they're getting cards and they're using the cards. And I applied, and wow, for sticky. And I never received one. So I don't know if they are shipping to America. If anybody in the US has a card, let me know, right? Because I don't know if I signed up wrong, because usually I'd be half reading shit and throwing shit and doing something like I'm doing now. I'm always doing something in the background. So things don't always work the way they're supposed to work. So I don't know if I didn't do it right, if I missed something, or if there was another problem somewhere. But let me know in the comments if somebody, anybody, everybody in the US is getting a Zebec card, right? Because I was hearing people talk about it, but I haven't actually seen where someone has actually used the card in the US. So I don't know if the US is getting cards or if it's just the UK. So why the 0.003 breakout has a story behind it. This is where the stream gets good. The move over the 0.003 is not exciting only because of the number. It's exciting because the project has stacked a bunch of narrative pieces in the last couple of months. Zebec says it's crossed 100,000 ZBCN holders. It completed a final token unlock March 2026, which I think also is helping the price, right? There's no more inflation, right? We are fully unlocked, right? No more unlocks coming. We are live. Its tokenomics page says the final stage unlock was March 2026 and frames the token as moving into a more mature, utility driven, increasingly deflationary phase with revenue linked buybacks. That helps the story because traders hate hanging supply overhangs. So, if you're a trader or an investor looking at the chart, you're not just saying price is green. You're saying, okay, the project is highlighting project expansion, new integration, and a post unlock token story. That exact moment price is testing a major psychological level. And that's how the momentum narrative forms. So the new angle you can build the show around. Stellar's integration. Sorry. One of the biggest recent developments is a Zebec Stellar integration. Zebec says Stellar selected it to bring real-time streaming payroll to Stellar ecosystem, which Zebec described as its first narrative deployment outside of Solana. And in Q1 report, Zebec says this opens the door for large global enterprise to stream stablecoin payroll at scale with ties to traditional rails like MoneyGram. And that is exactly the kind of headline you use when you want the market to stop thinking small altcoin and start thinking cross ecosystem payment rails. So Stellar is not the kind of name you just drop when you sound unserious. That's Zebec saying we are expanded beyond one lane. USD1 payroll support. Then you've got the USD1 angle. Zebec says USD1 is now live in the super app on Solana, and teams can run payroll in USD1 using a Zebec's real-time infrastructure. It says companies can stream, earn, pay in real time, do bulk transfers, set token vesting schedules, and use employers and employees' dashboards. With ZBCN used to pay streaming fees, that's a big point for your audience. USD1 funds payrolls, but ZBCN powers the infrastructure behind it. That's the kind of sentence crypto people love. The dollar may move through the system, but the token powers the system. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Use the freaking ZBCN tokens, bro. Give us freedom. Base card and payment stacks. There's also a base angle. In a recent listing on TradingView News, citing Zebec's own post on X, said Zebec launched its card and payment stack on Base with branded cards, accounts, native on-chain settlement, and payroll tools for projects building on Base. Even if you treat that as a event summary rather than a full independent investigation, it matters for the market because it widens the addressable ecosystem. Base builders hearing branded cards, payroll, settlement is how Zebec tries to become infrastructure, not just a token. Next is the AI agent treasury narrative. Zebec is also leaning into AI agent narratives, and everybody's doing AI, bro. So if they're doing AI, plus they're doing base, plus they're doing stellar. Bro, they're literally cornering the crypto market. I'm not sure if you guys are keeping up or if you can see Zebec Networks continue ecosystem growth as real world payments expand. Real-time payments for real world. Zebec is building the infrastructure for real-time payments and payroll streaming, powering business creators and community around the world. So it argues that the same treasury and payroll rails used for teams can be used to fund AI agents, complete with send control cards and real-time settlement. Whether you think that narrative is early or overhyped or genius, it shows Zebec is trying to position its existing payment stack as reusable financial infrastructure for future categories too. So yes, your AI agent might get a budget before some people get a raise. Welcome to 2026. And that's what I was saying too, initially, right? We've been talking about this for months. That when these AI agents start doing jobs, you pay them in crypto. And what else to be used but an actual crypto processor to help with the agents to move money, right? You got an actual token that's using AI for AI and paying AI. It's a win-win situation. So let me know what you think about that. So this is why the market may care now. Why does the market care right after instead of 3 months ago? Because the price is the translator. A project can ship all day long and nobody pays attention until the chart starts acting right. Once price presses a level like the 003, everyone suddenly becomes a fintech analyst with laser eyes. CoinMarketCap showed ZBCN today around 0.00306, up more than 13% on the day, with a market cap around 306 million, with the volume around 12.7 million. That gives you the live show headline: liquidity showing up, prices pressing a key level, and the token is carrying an infrastructure narrative at the same time. But you should also keep your stream grounded. Not every revenue, not every venue show the exact same breakout print. Trader view quotes on one pair or lower. So the smarter framing is ZBCN is battling around the breakout zones. And the market is clearly testing whether it wants to accept higher prices. That sounds more professional and protects you with candle wobbles, right? So now let's look at the technicals. Coming back over to maybe let's look at the 2-hour chart. See if we can zoom in a little bit. I want to see the lines, but I also want to see this here. We are very bullish, building volume. RSI is crazy high, 60.4. It got up to 76.7, 76.74. So let's talk about the chart. From the source I checked, the key story is that Zebec has been trying to reclaim and hold the zone above the 003. One TradingView idea page highlights a breakout retest above the 0026 and the 0027, which is what we talked about yesterday, right? All we got to do is break the 00 because we were here. Where were we? Right? Somewhere in here, 206, 207, right? And we were mentioning that yesterday. Was it yesterday? What's today? Thursday? What's today? That's last week. I'm tripping. Monday, Tuesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Yeah, we're right here yesterday at the 0027, and then we pushed up yesterday night and started to move from there. So, calling the range, former resistance now being tested as support. Another trading view idea summary says the bigger level to watch the upside is around the 00368. And that would be here somewhere in here, I guess. 00. Wow. Wait. Yeah. Which describes as a major weekly resistance area that gives us a clean roadmap. Weekend bullish scenario. If bulls can keep ZBCN above the breakout zone, call it roughly the 0029 to 003, depends on exchanges. Then the market may try to squeeze upward into the next key resistance band around 0033, 0037. The most important upside marker mentioned in TradingView analysis is about the 0036823. A clean push and hold through that area would strengthen the case that this is more than just a one-day pop. Definitely ready to make moves. So weekend neutral scenario. If price keeps wicking above the 003 but can't hold there, then you probably get a chop. In that case, the market could rotate between the 0027 and the 0031. While traders decide whether this is a real breakout or just resistance being tested. That kind of weekend action is common in crypto. Everything tweets parabolic and then price comes sideways just to insult everyone equally. So the weekend bear scenario, if ZBCN loses the 0026, 0027 area decisively, that weakens the intermediate breakout story because that zone has been cited as the prior resistance band turned potential support. Lose that cleanly, and the bull probably needs to retest and defend the lower support before trying again. My weekend's view is simple. Bulls want acceptance over the 003. If they get it, then the conversation shifts to whether ZBCN can attack the mid 003. If they lose that acceptance, then this becomes the retest and prove it scenario. So, smart skeptics, so you sound credible. Because Zebec has a compelling infrastructure story, but the risk is execution. The project is trying to unify cards, payroll, treasury, staking, live, white label services, multi-chain integration, and maybe even AI agent finance inside one broader ecosystem. This is ambitious, but big narratives are exciting but complex. Products also create more room for delays, weak adoption, and some more modules, or the market simply moving on to the next shiny object. So the honest take is the story is getting stronger, but crypto still demands proof. Traders will want price confirmation. Long-term believers will want usage growth, partner transactions, and more signals that the token flywheel is actually functioning the way a ZBCN says it can. So, do you think the 003 is the real breakout, or is the real move only if we clear the mid 003s. Is Zebec undervalued because people still think it's just payroll token? What matters more to you, the super app, stellar expansion, or the base integration? Do you think Zebec can become one of the main pay-fi plays of the cycle? You best freaking believe it. What's your weekend target? 0033, 0036, or back under the 003? Are you here for infrastructure coins or just here for candles and chaos? Candles and chaos. Chaos and candles. Let me see. 150K holders by midsummer minimum. Holders impress me. Here we go. What up, Tony T? Mega bullish. ZBCN Vegas. So let's go back over to X real quick. So we read this guy, Captain Zach. Big shout out to Captain Zach. What is this? This is Alpha Lion. Anchorage Digital and Zebec Network represent two sides of the same institutional shift in crypto. Secure infrastructure means real world utility. So let's see here what.
What's the motion? They ain't making no moves.
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 Nah. What's the motion? They ain't talking the truth.
What's the motion? They ain't making no moves.
They ain't making no moves. Checkmate. I just put the cash in the safe. Duck, checkmate. Checkmate. VVS shining all in your face. Bling. Checkmate. G-Wagon, this is not a race. Checkmate. Disappear, leaving no trace. Checkmate. Put 2 commas on a new plate. Money. Checkmate. Crypto wallet to the new rate. Checkmate. Why you acting bold when you fake? Fake. Checkmate. You know my whole crew about to shake the state. Yeah. Checkmate. Surprise clown. This ain't a game, it's a lifestyle. Not playing. Let me hit my broker. Bitch, I'm on the speed dial. SG class. I put the.
So it's pretty cool. I just hate when it has music because they're going to strike me for that. But shout out to Alpha Lion. This is Zebec has been working with us since day one as both infrastructure providers and early backers. USDC has been one of the core Zebec ecosystems from the beginning, powering real-world payments across payroll, card spending, and cross-border transfers. ZBCN Network and Circle Alliance program members is helping expand stablecoin are used across real-world applications and on-chain payments. Using USDC as a settlement layer, Zebec supports payroll across border transfers and card spending. This is heading to XRP Vegas, the largest XRP conference in the world. I wish I could go, but gotta chill with the kids. There's more traveling going on. So shout out to the Zebec Nation, Tiptoe Community Spotlight, and ZBCN Nation. And I talk to these guys. It might feature your boy on the ZBCN Nation. I just got to schedule a time to get with them, but I be busy, bro. I'm not tripping. I'm not mad. I'm not hating anybody, but the kid be busy. You see, I'm out here running crazy with videos. Plus, I actually work most of the time. So I just squeeze these videos in around lunch. Go for a stroll and then back to picking the kids up. Soon to rule over crypto, King of Kings, ZBCN and Ripple. I see you out here at King of Kings. Oh, I like that, actually. I might swipe that one. So this is Canton Crypto ZBCN community poll. What the holders want? Which exchange does ZBCN holders want to see ZBC listed on next? Binance, 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 Binance. Drop your vote in the comments. Tag a holder. Stronger together. Let's push to the 1 cent. Zebec to a penny. I got to remember that. Canton Crypto. I got to put that on. So this is Captain Zach. ZBCN Pirates Vegas isn't ready for what's coming. The Zebec Underground isn't just showing up, pulling up as a movement. Real builders, real community, built different, runs the future. Man, I wish I could get to Vegas. I might have to bring the kids in tow. I don't know. This is ZBCN Pirates. Do we need to say more? This is Amelia. Ripple teams up with MasterCard, WebBank, Gemini to bring stablecoin settlement to RLUSD. And this is 7 days to Vegas. Is that today? That's yesterday. So it's 6 days today. This is Zach Rector. What's this? Zach Rector just dropped some breadcrumbs and said quiet part out loud.
XRP Las Vegas in between consent. Also, find it interesting. We got something in the works here with Simon Babakani. I interviewed him a couple months ago. We're going to be getting him back on the show actually at the start of May, right after XRP Las Vegas in between consensus. Be on the lookout for that interview. But apparently he's at the Ripple headquarters right now. What's going on here, Simon? A little partnership with Zebec and Ripple? We got something cooking over there? Okay, we're watching that one. And Zebec's another one. I'm not sleeping on that one. I've added to my bags again, and I have buy orders if it wants to dip down. But I think it already pulled back, and it's just been moving up over the past month or so. And now with the Ripple partnership, and I told you guys that it's probably going to run up into XRP Las Vegas. They're going to be speaking on stage. Watch out for that one. Okay. Also, find it interesting. We got something in the works here with Simon Babakani. I interviewed him a couple months ago. We're going to be getting him back on the show actually at the start of May, right after XRP Las Vegas in between consensus. Be on the lookout for.
So shout out to Richter. And this is the rest of this is XRP. See what's going on here. Top crypto gainers and losers, Thursday, 23rd. ZBCN is up 15.8. Spark is up. What the freak is Spark? 48%? 40%. SPK. So there's a Spark and a Spark. That's weird. Lab is up 17%. Zebec up 15%. What else we got? Zebec guys, keep in mind that the top 10 currently hold 55% of this token. Take your profits. Let's it slightly dip on the retest and buy again. Trade safe, everyone. Happy winnings. Now the chart looks so beautiful. More likely rising, in my opinion. And what I would love about this coin is that we are over 101,000 holders. And the coin at this moment, while other crypto projects with almost the same market cap are 10 to 20,000 holders, and 80% of it's holded by 2 or 3 wallets, which is easy to manipulate. The price But Zebec, that's almost impossible with so many holders. And that does keep coming back to the manipulation process, right? But let's look at a couple videos. Who we got? You guys hate Leader Captain. This is crazy long.
The world is coming alive from XRP to the blockchain beat. Join
Let's
the crew
start.
where pioneers meet. Got build.
Let's start with Money and Me. What else is on here? Let's see what Money and Me's talking about.
All right, everyone. So I woke up this morning, I went on TradingView. I realized that Bitcoin is pulling back just a little bit. All the altcoins are red except for ZBCN, which actually pumped in the middle of the night while I was sleeping. So the question is, why? Why is ZBCN doing what it used to do back in 2025, at the beginning of 2025, when we
Yes, we are back in.
first got in? We have a lot to discuss here. Trust me when I say this is a video you do not want to miss, especially if you're a ZBCN holder. But remember, nothing here is financial advice. At the end of the day, I could always be wrong, so make sure you guys do own research. Now, let's get right into the video here. Like I mentioned, the market right now is not looking the greatest. As we can see, most of these altcoins are just bleeding. They are retracing after having such a great week. You can see these coins are down like 5%, 4%, right? Nothing great happening. But if you go out on the week, we are still pretty green for the most part. So the week is still good. It's just, today's just not a very good day for the markets. But, nothing runs forever. Eventually, there's going to be pullback.
What up, quarter crawler? BTM dropping them heat rocks. Let's go.
Just like nothing crashes forever, eventually there's going to be bounce backs. Okay. Now, if we come over here to the fear and greed index, what we're seeing is a 46 fear. Guys, this thing is almost back into neutral. We're almost back into neutral. And I've been telling you guys for the last few months, we don't want to wait until this needle flips back into extreme greed before establishing positions. Okay. We want to get these coins when this thing is sitting in extreme fear. Now, if you stayed on the sidelines because you were worried that Bitcoin was going to crash down to $40,000 because everyone kept saying it, even though I was saying that most likely not going to happen, honestly, it's still not too late for certain altcoins. Look for the altcoins that have not pumped significantly yet. There are still coins in the market that are still flat, just trading sideways, but eventually, if it's in the right narrative, you could see some major moves towards the upside before you know it. So make sure you guys are paying attention to your high conviction coins, because the last thing that you want is those things to run without you. Remember, guys, buy low, sell high. That's the name of the game. Don't wait for the pump so you can buy high and then sell low. Okay. Change your mentality if you want to make it in this crypto space. Now, why ZBCN is pumping? Well, ZBCN is pumping for a couple of reasons. One, it's a very solid project. The community continues to grow. The community is stronger than ever, right? And the team just continues to do fantastic things. Like, it's one of those projects where we know it has significant potential. It's a matter of when is this thing going to really explode? I mean, if you come over here to CoinMarketCap, let me actually pull this up. We can see ZBCN is still not in the top 100, actually. ZBCN right now is sitting at 114 on CoinMarketCap. 114. So we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. Like, it's only a matter of time before this thing enters the top 100 and even more eyes are on this project. Like, I can't wait to see the potential here, guys. This thing is sitting at a $300 million market cap. $300 million market cap. Like, let's see, what's a 100th coin on CoinMarketCap? Where is that sitting right now? That's probably at like 500 million or something. No, 354 million, right? That's immutable X. I can't believe the way that this thing has immutable IMX. Yeah, can't believe the way this thing has pulled back. But yeah, it's only a matter of time. Now, there's some big news that's going on why ZBCN is pumping, some directed to ZBCN and some not so directed, but there is still a connection there, right? Like, for example, this right here, MoneyGram and Stellar extended their partnership to expand real-world stablecoin utility globally. MoneyGram serves nearly 500,000 retail locations. This is massive news for Stellar, right? And ZBCN is partnered with Stellar XLM. So the connection is there. And this is what I mean by you got to pay attention to everything that's going on with ZBCN, whether it's directly connected or not, right? As long as their partnerships are like the companies that they're partnered with is doing big things as well, people notice these things, right? And this is why one of the reasons why ZBCN is performing the way that it is performing. And I'm going to pull up the charts in just a second for you guys. Another piece of news is this right here. Circle, right? So you can see this 269.6 thousand followers posted this here on their X account. Zebec Network, a Circle Alliance program member, is helping expand how stablecoins are used across real-world applications and on-chain payments. Using USDC as a settlement layer, Zebec supports payroll, cross-border transfers, and card spending. Right? So more and more eyes are, guys, look at this, 120,000 views here on this post, over 800 likes, right? 264 retweets, if people are still calling them tweets, I don't know. But yeah, more and more eyes are on Zebec right now. So can you just imagine once Bitcoin crosses $80,000, over $100,000, the potential something like ZBCN, like, sky's the limit for it, in my personal opinion. And this is why I've made so many ZBCN videos, because I see the potential. We got to get into these projects. You know, we got to see the potential in these projects well ahead of everybody else, as long as it's in the right narrative, because it's something that I've been saying for a long period of time. You can't just find a project, a new project where the market cap is low, right? And just go, oh, well, this is the next big thing. Right? You can't just do that. You have to have a reason to really pinpoint a project and go, I see the potential here because of X, Y, and Z. Now, check this out, guys. So this person posted here on X, ZBCN all over my feed. Yeah, and that's because it's running up over 12%. Wow, just incredible. And then this right here, ZBCN is smashing on the ceiling for the third time. Fourth time is a big breakout. Is this the breakout before ZBCN actually reclaims all-time highs? We're going to see how this thing plays out. And remember, posts like this, people buying ZBCN right now, trying to laugh at ZBCN, right? And it's absolutely hilarious when people don't conduct research. People don't realize how strong of a community a project has. And when it comes to crypto, it's all about the community. People's been talking about ZBCN, or some people have been talking down on ZBCN ever since we've been talking about it since early 2025. And those investors that continue to talk down on it are those ones that continue to get left behind. And this is why you got to conduct research. You got to ignore the noise. Just believe in what you believe in. If you believe in a project, and don't believe in a project because of me, just because I'm bullish on ZBCN doesn't mean you need to be bullish on ZBCN, right? Be bullish on ZBCN because you actually conducted your research and you like ZBCN for yourself. But anyways, if we come over here.
Right. Don't be bullish on it because we bullish on it, right? Have your own opinion and your own options, right? Don't come to us because you like it or we like it, right? Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and buy it because you think it's a good product. Don't buy it because I'm telling you I like it, and then be mad if it doesn't go the way you want it to go, or if it pumps but doesn't pump as much as you want it to pump. I'm in it because I like it, right? I'm in it because I know long haul it's going to make money. A lot of people are getting in and looking for quick pumps. It ain't going to be a quick pump. It's going to run up, but people are going to sell off, so it's going to come down. So if you're in it for something quick, this might not be the token for you. But again, do your own research. Don't just FOMO in because it's talking about it and it's pumping, and then be mad in a week or so because it's not at $30, right? Do your own research.
We can see that ZBCN is still in this bullish momentum, which was fired here on April 3rd. And you can find the link to Trade Assist, which is a great crypto indicator, down below in the description for anyone that's interested in that. Let you know when's a good time to buy and sell crypto. You're also going to find a link to my Discord, the Crypto School, where I'm over there alongside other crypto YouTubers. The link for that is going to be in my description down below as well. And you get my buy alerts, sell alerts, and you just get to know what I'm up to on a daily basis. All right. But back to the charts here. Take a look at this, guys. Ever since ZBCN bottomed out here at the beginning of February, it started to make its way up. And I know I show you guys this all the time, but when you compare it to other altcoins, right, they're not doing what ZBCN is doing. For like Solana, for example, it bottomed here at the beginning of February. It tried to make a pop, but it didn't even retest these all-time highs of 2026, which is $96. Right now, it's sitting at $85. You take a look at something like Say, pretty much the exact same thing, probably. Actually, no, Say didn't bottom out until the beginning of April, right? So ZBCN is honestly, it's doing great. The chart is looking great. And this is the run that we had today, where it came up to 0.0031. The move towards the upside has just been slow and incredible. And honestly, I will not be surprised if it makes a new all-time high this year in 2026. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments section. Are you still holding ZBCN? Are you buying?
So shout out to Money and Me. And all right, quarter quality, take it easy. And here, Greece. I feel you on that. This is Zach Rector, and he's talking about ZBCN.
Zebec, otherwise known as ZBCN, the token for the Zebec Network. In today's update, we're going to break down why we are bullish. We have updated tokenomics. Basically, 100% of the supply's out. Now they're focused on utility. They got some new partnerships listed on more exchanges. The super app has been rolled out with over 10% of the total supply already staked. And it looks like there might be something in the works with our other favorite company, Ripple. So in today's update, you're going to find out why we are bullish on ZBCN. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this project in the comments down below. So let me know what you guys think of ZBCN. And if you guys are new and haven't heard of this ticker and why we're so excited about it, we'll stick around to find out. First and foremost, a lot of people don't know where to buy it. It's not listed on a few of the tier 1 exchanges yet, which is also another opportunity. But for me, I've been buying it on Caleb and Brown, and I've been storing it there in their free institutional grade custody. So I'm going to put them at the top of the description down below. This is my favorite platform to buy, trade, and hold Zebec, because like I said, they have that white glove service, transparent trading fees, but then the free institutional grade custody. So I'm currently not staking my Zebec. That's something I'm going to look into here. But for right now, just buying and holding. Caleb and Brown's a great platform. It's on Uphold. It's on other platforms as well. It's just my preferred platform is Caleb and Brown. Like I said, free institutional grade custody, keeping it secure. But let's get into it, folks. So all of the tokens are out. When I take you over here to the supply, what you're going to see is that it is 100% out. That max supply is 100 billion, and we're pretty much there. I don't know why it's reading 99.99, but essentially all of the tokens have been unlocked. They've been released. And this was a big update that came out, I believe it was in March. Now, last year we covered Zebec, and this was one of my concerns, is that there was a lot of dilution, a lot of inflation between last year, April, May, basically same time frame last year, and March of this year. And I noted that this was something to watch out for because March 2026, all of the tokens would be out and inflation would be complete. Now, Zebec came out and said that we got updated tokenomics coming out in March. And I went, oh no, oh crap. Hopefully they're not about to, decide to print a bunch more. They did not. They reassured that there was going to be no new more tokens, that's all done. And then they actually started to use Zebec for payments in any stable coin across their platform. The fees would be paid in Zebec along with some of the other, their payroll solutions and some of the other things that they're working on. It's all bringing utility back to Zebec. So that was the updated tokenomics in March, confirming that, yes, Tokens are completely out there. Now it's just focus on utility. And with that being said, we're also seeing new listings coming live right now. We just saw this today. QuickX is listing ZBCN. So another exchange going live. And I'm interested to see if they can get on some tier one exchanges here soon. That'll be a big unlock, more access, more liquidity for Zebec. And I really think that that's a big opportunity. But looking back on Q1 of this year, it was a major quarter for Zebec as momentum continues to build. Native real-time payroll on Stellar. They announced that one. Huge. We love that on the Stellar network. That's great. The super app went live with the mobile app launching soon. You just connect your Solana. I think you can connect a couple other wallets as well too. And then you can start to use their super app for everything. And payroll solutions, staking, it's all there in the super app. The cards as well too. Expansion into private ecosystems like Dash Pay and Aleo. World Liberty Financial's USD1 stablecoin added across our product suite. More white label applications going live. Payroll and card volumes continue to grow steadily. Expansion across more chains at enterprise continues with our 22nd chain integration ahead. And they also did a quarterly buyback announcement, which was released. I don't have the number in front of me, but they did buy back more ZBCN in Q1. So they continued the buybacks of the token as well. Now, we saw this post was put out today as well. Zebec Network, a Circle Alliance program member, is helping expand how stablecoins are used across real-world applications and on-chain payments. Using USDC as a settlement layer, Zebec supports payroll, cross-border transfers, and card spending. So these partnerships that we thought, okay, let's see what Zebec can do, right? Last year when I covered this project, I said, this is hot. It's got momentum. It's going to move. Whether or not this project actually has real utility, can get real partnerships, we're going to follow up with you guys later in 2025 and then in the first part of 2026. Here we are, and I have been pleasantly surprised and really impressed with all of the partnerships, with the growing payroll, with the growing cards, integrated into more chains, over basically nearly 24 chains that they've now integrated with as well too. They kept on adding all this past year. And the super apps now rolled out as well. They're setting the stage here for where I think they start to reach mainstream crypto awareness. Right now, this is still what some folks might call a low cap gem, where not many people know about it. Right? The market cap on ZBCN is still only at $282 million. So this is a small project. It's, what's it listed at right now? It's 117. So it's not even in the top 100. It's not even in the top 50. And as we've shown you guys in the past with the XRP market cap multiplier, it does not take a lot of liquidity coming into these projects to see that price move drastically. And so on ZBCN being at a sub $300 million market cap, it does not take anything to see this project double and triple in size when we look at how little inflows it would take to get that thing up to a 600 million market cap or even approach $1 billion market cap, which I think is very possible. That would bring it to the penny price level. And it already went above half a penny. Last year, I laid out my targets, which were half a penny to a penny, and it went up to about 3/4 of a penny. So we were spot on. We made a bunch of money on Zebec last year, millions. Literally, our community made millions on Zebec last year. And then we said, okay, let's see if they can follow through. And they did, which is why I went back into ZBCN. And I still have buy orders set if I do get this pullback, which I'm going to show you the chart here in one moment. I'm going to show you how I just missed a great entry on adding to my Zebec bags. But I'm pretty happy with what I got. And I am looking to add more if we do get that pullback. Now, one of the integrations that I wanted to mention was this Notch's Payments Innovation Alliance. Now, for those guys who don't know Notcha, this is a huge, huge network, the ACH network. That's right, the Automatic Clearinghouse Network. And Notcha is part of this, governs the thriving ACH network. And in Q1 of 2026, total ACH volume rose 4.8% to 8.9 billion payments. And the value of those payments was up 9.3% from the Q1 of last year to 24.1 trillion in one quarter, $24 trillion worth of payments. Now, like I said, Zebec, how do they have anything to do with Nacha? Well, right towards the end of last year, 2025, they actually got admitted to Nacha's Payments Innovation Alliance. Now, they join JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Circle, ADP, Pfizer V, and others. But Zebec appears to be one of the first and maybe the only pure blockchain crypto projects to gain this level of formal involvement. Now, Zebec has stated plans to deepen integration with the ACH network in 2026, positioning itself as a leader in bringing blockchain-based innovation to existing ACH rails. And what we always say, right, what we want to see is projects that are solving trillion-dollar problems. It's the trillion-dollar addressable markets and problems that turn us on. And Zebec is definitely going for it. It being integrated right there with Nacha, part of the ACH network, they're positioning themselves very well, especially in the United States of America. And if you guys missed the interview that I did with their CEO, Simon Babakani, you should go back and watch that one after we finish this video right here, because he laid it out, and now we're watching them execute on this plan, and really growing within the United States of America. See, Simon said that he couldn't tell me a lot of their partnerships are behind NDAs right now. He did give me a couple examples, but I asked him, how much of your partners are Americans? He said, most of them are in the United States of America. And so I think they position themselves very well for this Clarity Act getting passed. Hopefully this year we'll get the Clarity Act and regulations, rules of the road in the United States of America. And Zebec is going to be right there with important integrations like into the Nacha, what is it called? The Nacha Payments Innovation Alliance. This is huge. Remember, the whole goal here is to bridge real-time crypto payments with traditional banking infrastructure. That is the utility. That is what Zebec is going after. Now, they put out this ecosystem map, and I'm going to show you the full map. And there's some notable players in here for sure. But I'm going to zoom in so we can take a closer look here at the privacy solutions there with Dash, Aleo. We mentioned those. DeFi and wallet infrastructure. New wallets for Tangem just came out for XRP Vegas, World Liberty Financial, and then they're also working with Uphold. They've been doing a lot of marketing and promoting with Uphold, which is good to see. Stablecoin rails, they mentioned that they added USD1, ROUSD as well. And so they're adding the stablecoin rails. Investors, they're backed by Coinbase Ventures, Briar Capital, Circle, some big players. And then for the network and ecosystems, that continues to expand. Canton's there, Stellar, Solana, Ripple, part of the XRP ledger. And then institutional infrastructure, you see Ondo, Circle, Paxos, Anchorage, Uphold, institutional. And what caught my attention is up here in the TradFi payroll rails. JP Morgan. What is JP Morgan doing up here? Now, JP Morgan is part of that Nacha Payments Alliance as well. And then they announced a big partnership with NatPay last year as well, along with PayBridge, Assure. And so I'm really excited to see the partnerships that get announced here in 2026. I think that they're going to be ready to do it. I mean, we've already seen Zebec, NatPay, the Coinbase, alliance there. They've been part of the Circle Alliance for a long time. And now this next one that looks to be in the works really gets me excited. Simon Babakani, the CEO of Zebec, he posted this the other day. Big things in the works from the offices of Ripple. What could be going on here, Simon? What are we up to, sir? Now, I am going to be getting Simon back on for an interview after XRP Las Vegas and before Consensus. We got him scheduled right there for the first part of May. So we're going to see, because Simon's going to be on stage at XRP Las Vegas, which that in and of itself is big because it just puts ZBCN in front of the XRP community again, which this already is a project that the XRP community loves. And the broader, what I would call the ISO 222 community, right? Folks that are focused on real utility in crypto, payment networks, these blockchains that have come into compliance with ISO 222, and how do you merge the crypto rails with the traditional financial rails? That's what Zebec has been working on, along with XRP, XLM, and a lot of those other projects that have become ISO 222 compliant, because they knew we can't get the institutions, the banks, and the traditional rails to merge with us with blockchain if we don't meet them in the middle. And that's what the ISO 222 messaging standard is, and why so many of us in the digital asset space have invested in projects that have become ISO 222 compliant. It's because we understand that these are the projects that are prioritizing getting ready for institutional adoption. So ZBCN, let's watch the rest of this year to see what partnerships come out. But I think that we're going to be getting some big announcements for XRP Las Vegas, which is going to take place in a little over a week. And then at Consensus, right, the first part of May. And then I'll be getting Simon back on for an interview then. So make sure you guys have subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss that one. But, how much money are we going to make, Zach? Right, the question that everybody has. And for that, we'll take a look at the charts. Now, ZBCN had pulled back substantially with the rest of the market. At the beginning of February, the ZBCN went all the way down here to 0.0015. Now, after it did this, it bounced back up like much of the crypto space. But then going into March, I had drawn out this red target right here, this red square. This was the target that I had set for ZBCN. Now, here's where I messed up, and I really am regretting this. I called this perfectly, right? It did come back and it hit this level, got pretty close one other time, and then hit it again. So it went down into my box 2 times. But instead of placing my buy order to buy some more ZBCN right up here, I was getting a little greedy and I placed my buy order down here at 0.0015, thinking that we might get a double bottom here. And that didn't happen, right? We came back to the top of my red box and then we blasted off. And ZBCN has bounced with incredible strength since then. And so if I had just been a little less greedy and got my order in at the top of my red box, I'd be up 50% on that bag. The full swing up 60% from that level. This thing's moving quickly. I'm going to zoom out on the chart to show you guys here. And what's interesting, like I said, ZBCN only just shy of a $300 million market cap. It's going to take nothing to pump this coin again, just like we did last year. See, on my chart back here in April of 2025, I have the 2 days that I did ZBCN updates marked to show you guys that when I did my first video, it actually pulled back. Then I did my second video and then it went ballistic. And we made hundreds of percent gain, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800% gain, basically, full swing. And so this thing went absolutely nuts. And my target of half a penny to a penny played out perfectly because we got up to 0.007, so basically 3/4 of 1 penny. And I think that we're going to do it again. And we have the chance to go even much further. And, you look, over 10% of the supply is already staked. So you got a lot of believers in this project that have their coins staked and locked up, essentially, right? And it's not going to take much in inflows to juice this thing again. And so at the current level that we're at right here, right, you could double up your money just taking this thing back up to half a penny. And I think that it very well could stretch up more, right? We could see this thing going up once again, 3/4 of a penny. You're looking at 169% gain from current levels. And let's just say if this thing did want to run up to a penny, the top side of my level, you're looking at 250, basically almost 300% opportunity on this project. And that's from today's prices as we sit here at 0.0028. So if this thing pulls back again to 0.0025, 0.0021, then that potential upside there gets to 300% and above, just going back to a penny. No crazy ZBCN predictions from me, like ridiculously conservative predictions, and we're looking at an opportunity to hit a 3x. These are the opportunities across crypto that I have been seeking out during this bear market, with ZBCN, we have found a real runner once again. And I'm so excited to see what this project does over the course of 2026. I think it's perfectly positioned for regulations and institutions starting to use this technology at scale. And the big thing that I'm watching is that there's traditional players in the payroll solution space, of course, like ADP, and Zebec actually has former members of ADP on their board. But there's no one in the blockchain space that appears to be tackling this use case of streaming payroll. Doesn't seem like there's many competitors. In fact, I don't really know of any. So if you do, let me know in the comments down below. But I'm interested to see how much of the payroll solutions that how big that can grow, how much of that market they can capture. But for all of these reasons that I mentioned here, it's why I went back on Zebec and I added to my bags earlier in January. I set my buy order and I'm regretting where I placed it. I should have not gotten as greedy as I did, but it looks like it's ready to run again, even from today's prices. Massive opportunity. Follow-up interview with their CEO, Simon Babakani. So if you guys appreciated this update, please help us out by liking this video, sharing it out far and wide. But make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss that follow-up interview with Simon. Keep your eyes on this project, and we'll keep on bringing you guys opportunities here. Very excited for what's in store for the rest of 2026. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate.
So thanks for that with Zach Richter. I was thinking about streaming this. What is this? The ZBCN. This guy, which is almost 2 hours, but I don't want to make the stream too long unless you guys really just want to make it the ZBCN day. So let me know what you think in the comments. We could keep it rolling. And that'd be another 2 hours, give or take, bro. A 4-hour stream with me. We would be all the way live today. But here's my final take. ZBCN over the 003 is exciting, not because the number is magic, but because it lines up with the broader attempt by Zebec to become serious crypto payment infrastructure. The super app ties together payroll, cards, staking, treasury, and tokenomics page pushes the idea of post-unlock revenue, linked buyback supported token models. Recent announcements around Stellar, USD1, Payroll, and Base to help the market imagine Zebec as a bigger platform, not just a coin. So the weekend setup is clean, hold above the breakout zone, and the bulls will start streaming for a continuation. Lose the zone and the market probably cools off a bit. But one thing is clear, Zebec is giving traders and investors a much more serious story debate that it has before. In crypto, sometimes stronger stories is exactly what unlocks a stronger chart. Now tell me, in the chart, is Zebec just getting started? Or is this where the market gets cute and tries to shake everybody out before the real move? Super app launched in late February with payroll, cards, staking, payments, and treasury tools. Q1 report claiming 49 million monthly payroll volume, 243 enterprise clients, 21,629 cards issued, 500K transactions, and support up to 100 tokens across 19 chains. So looks like the verdict is in. Weekend TA levels mentioned the 003, the psychological battle zone, the 0026 and 0027 important retests, support areas of trading view ideas, and the 0036 notable higher resistance area from trading view ideas. This is not financial advice. It's a tracking setup, the narrative, and the levels in crypto. All three matter. So I guess we'll keep it pushing. So shout out to maybe play some now and some next episode. A ZBCN day. Zebec day. Zebec. So I guess we're gonna play it. So I'm gonna start playing it and step away for a second when we will shut it down. So thanks for joining, and on to the Zebec Nixon Live. Real-time payments are here.
There's dreamers paving the way, more touching vibes, we're here to stay. Wanna know? Don't wait, let's go. Dip a toe, join the Web3 flow. Take a step, explore the scene. Dip a toe, show, living the dream. From the ledger to the stars we climb. Crypto's future, it's our time. Dip a toe, yeah, take that chance. Join the vibe, let's crypto dance. Faces of crypto, stories we share. Early adopters, they're everywhere. From XRP to the Web3 wave. Bold moves only with a spark to ignite. Do your research, keep your vision tight. The world's been shook. Ooh.
The world's been shook. Ooh. Hey guys, welcome to the Dip and Toe Show, your weekly 2-hour deep dive into crypto, DeFi, and the communities building the future of money. Tonight is extra special because we're launching our brand new Community Spotlight series. For our very first spotlight, we're joined by the passionate crew by Zebec Nation, the dedicated community leaders and voices behind the Zebec Nation podcast. Joining us tonight, we have Zebec Samurai, 314 Crypto, Throbbing Lantern, Mr. Foresight, and ZBCN man himself. We're going to dive deep into the Zebec Network, and this is the project that's turning payroll and departments payments upside down with real-time streaming money. Over the next 2 hours, we're going to hear for their personal stories, how this tight-knit community came together, and why they believe so strongly in the Zebec Network, what they're building. We're going to try to break it down in simple terms, talk about how streaming payments work, what the new super app brings to the table, the role of the ZBCN token, and what's coming with XRP Las Vegas. So if you're new to Zebec, we're already deep in the streams. Stick around. This is going to be informative, fun, and full of real community energy. Speaking of community energy, I want to welcome all of you. We got 48 people in here already, guys. I do want to say Simon is not feeling well, so unfortunately he will not be here. Silver Days, shout out. Simon says hi. I'm sure he's just not feeling well.
Man, Silver Days, you are everywhere. Shout out to my main man, Silver. I see you out here, bro.
But he'll be back next week. We do have Zebec Samurai in the house. Miss Makita, our lovely co-host of the Digital Ladies Unscripted. We've got Gone Rogue, Susan Roblins in the house. Who else? Jay Fitzy. Jay Fitzy is always reposting our stream. We appreciate you so much. We got Sing for Jesus in the house. Hello, Dipper fam, she says. Java Harris, DJ Jazzy's in the house. Too Blessed says, peace, everyone. And that, I think that's all I got for the chat. So bear with me, guys, because I am by myself. we're gonna take your questions throughout the show like we always do, and then right after at 10:10 we have our after dark space. So hopefully some of these gentlemen will be able to join us in the after space. If not, we'll just talk amongst ourselves about Zebec, what you guys learned and that sort of thing. And that's going to start at 10:10 Eastern Standard Time. So buckle up, guys. Be sure, if you're watching right now, to give the channel a like and a follow. If you're new to the Dip a Toe channel, help our channel grow. We really appreciate it. Throw a comment or questions if you're excited. And without further ado, let's get these guys in here. I'm going to bring them in one by one. We got them all. Gentlemen, welcome to the Dip a Toe Show. How you doing this evening?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
I'm fantastic. I'm so excited to have you here. I've been watching your channel for a little while now, and I reached out to Z-Man and said, like, hey, I would love to collaborate, have you guys come on the Dip a Toe Show. This is the first in the series, Community Spotlight. And so I couldn't think of a better community to bring in. You guys are very active in the Zebec community, real leaders of the community from what I can tell. But before we start talking about Zebec, I would love to go around the room and have you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in crypto, and then what stuck out to you, like what kind of got you involved in the Zebec community to begin with. So let's go around the room. We'll start with Zebec Samurai, the Samurai. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic. I'm doing great.
Well, I am Zebec Samurai. I'm the producer for Zebec Nation. I do the uploads. I do the editing. I make sure everybody looks good, clean. And I've been in the crypto probably since Doge, but I took a break after I made my money off of Doge for a couple years. And then I recently got back in the crypto last year, early last year, because one of my coworkers was like, you got to get XRP going to 1,000. Okay. And, I bought in, at $3. And then, that went well for a while. And I'm like, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, I need something like a little cheaper because, I don't make a ton of money. So I need something a little cheaper to buy into that's going to give me a proportional amount in return. So I literally looked on the Uphold app and I scrolled through the top 150 and I saw Zebec, which just hit its all-time high at that time and came and cooled back down. So I looked on there and I was like, this one's kind of speaking to me. I don't know why. I didn't know anything about it. And I was like, well, it's a 0.004. It's way cheaper than $3.
Yeah.
So what I did was I transferred all my XRP that I had. I put a couple hundred into it. I just started investing into it. And I was like, I'm just going to put it all into Zebec. Mainly just to tick off my coworker a little bit, because when I brought up Zebec, he got so mad. He was so angry. He referred to Zebec as a meme coin. And I was like, well, I don't know what it is, but So then I started doing research on it, and this was before the Discord even existed. And there was people like Z-Man talking about it. I remember watching Mr. Foresight months ago, even before we even met, watching Crypto Star Rail and a couple of those guys, and really get into it. And I was like, man, nobody's doing payroll right now. So I was like, all right, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to leave my apartment. I'm going to move back to my parents, and I'm going to just spend most of my money and put it into Zebec because I'm way behind. So I took the plunge, and I'm in the, even though I started at 0.004, obviously it's dropped down a lot since then. I did my due diligence. I DCA'd every paycheck, sometimes multiple times per paycheck, made sacrifices in my life, and now I'm in profits.
Nice.
And that's pretty much my
Well,
story.
welcome to the Dip a Toe Show. I can't wait to pick your brain further. There's going to be a lot of questions coming at you. Let's go to Z-Man. Welcome to the Dip a Toe Show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been into crypto, and why you stumbled upon Zebec?
So first of all, thank you for having us on. It's an honor to be on your show, and just to be able to bring some of the guys that work alongside me every single day on here as well. It's a blessing completely. And so I really want to say that first and foremost. My story goes back to 2024. It's probably November 2024. Started hearing a lot about XRP. I knew nothing about crypto other than Bitcoin, like most people. And I needed something because I have certain ambitions that I have in life that I want to reach. And someone told me, hey, buy XRP, it's going to $1,000, much like Samurai's story. And so I bought a ton of XRP. I had built my bag up pretty high. I had close to 10,000 XRP, and most people would think I was crazy for selling it. However, when I ran across CBCN, actually was researching, I came across some videos, some earlier videos where the founder Sam was talking about solving real world issues. And one of the things that spoke to me the most, being a director and having a staff underneath me, is how they live paycheck to paycheck. And payroll is something that affects every single person on the planet, because every single person is getting paid, you know? And predatory loans are something that exist in this world that have ridiculously high interest rates, to where people take out a payday loan and they're in this vicious cycle they can never get out of. And so it spoke to me because I see these people every single day of my life, and I really truly care about these people who work with me. And I started telling them about ZBCN and how Zebec is trying to solve these issues that real people deal with every day. You know, and this is not a knock on any other project that's out there, but you know, a lot of the projects are working more with the banks and the bankers and solving bankers issues, whereas I felt like Zebec Network is really working towards solving real world issues with real everyday people. And that's why it spoke to me, and I bought a ton of ZBCN at the time, and I've been stacking up ever since. And and not only that, I just want to say this: in the time that I've gotten into ZBCN, the communication level with the leadership from Zebec Network is like none other than any other crypto, platform out there. So that's my story, and you'll learn more about me as we go along here.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. And 2024. So you're kind of like a crypto baby, you know. I mean, so this is kind of interesting. So neither one of you have been in crypto super long, I would say, right? So let's go to 314. Welcome to Dip a Toe Show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in crypto?
So yes, 314 Crypto. Again, appreciate you having me on. I love being here with my brothers on this show. It's a pleasure. But I haven't been in crypto that long. Similar to what ZBCN man said in turn, 2024, the end of 2024 is when I got in. But I was in around the meme coin craze. And I was in like the Pepe, you know, and Pump Fund, right? So I got into it whenever I would watch videos of people turning $5 into $1 million. I was living into this like hopium world, you know. So I got into that. I got into quite a few projects that got rug pulled, and I benefited, or didn't really benefit from it, but I ended up on the short end of it. And it got me really thinking, what really is blockchain and crypto? So I opened up CoinMarketCap, looked at all the top cryptos. I started with Bitcoin, trickled down to see what their use cases were and really how I could best understand it. And I learned by visually seeing it, and then rather than somebody just telling me. But the job that I was working at, this guy, he had XRP, and he was telling me, he was like, yo, you should look into Zebec. You should look into Zebec. I was like, yo, what is Zebec? And he was telling me, and he started telling me, you know, it's Payroll. It was Payroll. And just like anything, I questioned it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. What are you talking about? But I did research, and obviously, just like Samurai said, I thought it was a little bit cheaper. And I thought it was a real world use case token. And I started to do my research and see, you know, their advisors and the people surrounding the ecosystem. You know, you have like the JP Morgans, the Visas of the world. I'm like, okay, these are real top institutions and enterprises. This could actually be something. And then when you looked at the market cap, you're like, oh, I could be early to this. And I jumped in, not finding out that, just like Z-Man said, you know, the leaders of Zebec is very communicative. So I was able to really find a lot of information from them, with also backing up my own research. So it was cool. I love it. I love it.
You know, one thing I'm going to mention is that it's so funny. Payroll's not sexy, guys. Accounting's not sexy. And I'm an accountant. I do payroll. I do all HR. And it's just cracks me up because the XRP people are so excited about, you know, the banking, and the ZBN people are like, oh, payroll, you know, and I'm just laughing so hard about all of it. And I think it's super cool for once. My trade is getting some love. You know what I mean? So,
right.
yeah, I just think it's just, especially when I see young guys like yourself, you're all cool. You're like, I got into Pepe, and then you're like, nope, I'm going for the one that's going to solve the payroll problem. You know, I just think it's so funny and it's so cool. And like, hats off to you, all of you, for recognizing the potential here and actually getting excited about it. You know, it just cracks me up. But yeah, welcome. Is there anything else that you want to share besides that about yourself?
No, yeah. So 314, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from St. Louis. So for all the people, you know, from the Midwest, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I live here in South Florida. You know, I wanted to change my horizons. You know, being back in the Midwest, not to speak for people in my area, but I don't come from, you know, a family that's like they gave me all the financial tools, you know, that gave me all the tricks to the trade. So I took myself out of my upbringing, you know, in my hometown, and I wanted to pack up my bags and leave to go somewhere where I can start surrounding myself by more like-minded people, more ambitious people, more successful people. So for me, meeting these guys is like the best thing in the world, because again, when you move somewhere you don't know anybody, and then you start to become curious and open yourself up to things that you never thought, and then you start to think of these as your brothers, you know, and you talk to them every day. So no, this is super cool. Again, thank you.
Oh God, I love you guys so much. Yeah, I mean, you know what it is? It's the mindset and putting yourself in the circles of people where you want to go. And I used to tell my kids that all the time, you know, ask those questions to those people that know the answers. They want to tell you, they want to share it with you. Put yourself around the people that you want to be, right? So you're doing all the right things, my friend. So that's fantastic. Well, welcome to Dip Toe Show. We're going to go to Mr. Foresight. I like the name, Mr. Foresight. Welcome to Dip Toe Show. Please,
hey, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you.
A little bit
Thank
about
you
yourself.
for having me.
How long you been in crypto?
Okay, for me, kind of like 314, I got into crypto back in the last bull cycle. And I came in on the tail of things like Shiba Inu. You couldn't tell me at the time that Shiba Inu was going to go to a penny or a dollar. I knew it was going. I held a bag of Shiba Inu. And at that time, being fresh to crypto, I came in, I was buying things like NFTs. So I had these NFTs and I had my crypto, but everything that I had in crypto, when I look back at it and I look at all of those old wallets, it was all meme coins. Everything was meme coins, but I didn't understand what a meme coin was at the time. And then during this time, everything was Inu. If it had Inu at the end of it, then people was buying into it. So I seen a little bit of money come in on my meme coins, but there's so many things I didn't learn in the beginning. One of the things I didn't learn is take your profits. I watched things go all the way up. I was looking at 6 figures, and in my naivety, I was like, if it can hit 6 figures, it can hit $1 million. So I'm just hanging on. I'm hanging on. I watched it come all the way down. And then as it was coming down, I decided, well, let me take a little bit of money out. But I didn't learn anything. And the interesting thing about that is, rather than take that as a negative and say, you know, I'm done with crypto, because you get those people who say, you know, crypto is for the scammers, and like pool. I got rug pull when it came to NFTs, but I didn't let that leave a sour taste in my mouth, because I've been through, you know, growing up, I've had my trials and tribulations. I'm from Detroit. I'm from the Midwest. And
Michigander, fellow Michigander.
Yeah.
I'm from Michigan too.
Oh, yeah?
My friend.
What part?
Baby.
Where?
I'm not going to tell you exactly. I'll tell you offline.
Okay. Because I've been all over Michigan.
Let's go. That's awesome.
But you know, from that, how I heard, well, from that, I came back into crypto, but you know, like everyone, I had a 9-to-5, you know, nice paying job, 6 figures, and something was missing in my life. Something was just missing. And, you know, the older you get, you're like, you know, I've taken all these different chances in life. And I was like, the one thing I haven't done still is went after my dream. And I tell people that all the time. You can go after other people's dream, or you can go after your dream. So talking with my wife and everything, I walked away and I said, I'm do not only crypto, and I started my own channel, Grow Rich, Grow Happy. But I said I wanted to give something back to people. And because I understood what stopped me from growing in crypto, it had nothing to do with crypto and everything to do with me and my negative habits. So with that, I said, I'm not going to shy away from that. And I have to change my habits in order to reach that peak of where I'm trying to go in life. So how I came about Zebec is because one of my members, they mentioned it down below, and a few people kept mentioning it. So I went and I looked at it, and I told these guys, first thing stuck out to me was being paid around the clock. And I was like, being paid around the clock, that's real world usage. And then there's a Wendy's that used to be in my area, and it got so bad for them after the pandemic that they said that they would pay you every 24 hours, you know, get paid the same day. And I remember telling my wife, I was like, that's interesting right there, because if you get paid the same day, you're probably going to get more people. And you know, because they needed help. So that, when I made that connection with that and what Zebec was doing, that's what stuck out to me. And then, like those guys, I went and I looked at the white papers and everything, and I seen the connections. Then I looked at these connections. You look at Visa, you look at all of these big things, and you're like, okay, I come from a world where I've been rubbed. So, you know, you're still skeptical. But like Z-Man was saying, their leadership, the X's that they have, I wasn't seeing anybody doing those kind of X spaces that's communicating with the public like weekly or bi-weekly. And that made me stick to it. And like those guys, I put a little bit in, didn't put as much as I should have put in. But as things began to progress, I said to myself, I'm going to back the truck up to it now, early. So I'm glad to say that I've been in now at a reasonable low. I continue to DCA, but I like more than that. I get to share that with my with community members, with these wonderful guys, as we try to reach as many people and teach people to you know, just not only take a chance, but to believe in themselves enough to believe that, and not being afraid to take action, because it's the inaction that keeps us from reaching reaching our goals. Yeah, and that's it. So I'm all about teaching people to take action. Yep. So when it comes
dip
to
a toe, baby. Dip a toe, baby. Little by little, that's the whole thing.
And I try to make it easy. I try to explain it to it. I like to explain things to people as if it was my mom and them who don't understand anything about blockchain. And I love the fact that the payroll thing, being paid around the clock, is something that people can easily grab and say, oh, what? I can be what? And then you start to bring in the other elements of it. So, yeah, that's my story.
Well, it's sure a pleasure having you here on the Dip a Toe Show. And I look forward to picking your brain here in a little bit, because I'm going to pick your brain. Believe me. Mr. Lantern,
Hello.
welcome to the DeFi Show. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in crypto, and what drew you to ZBN.
Nice. This will be a little different type of response, but I got into crypto in 2019. I started paying attention a little bit in 2019, but I've kind of been paying attention to the financial movements and politics and, you know, world conflicts. They all intertwine. So for a while, people weren't really talking about, like, I'm going to say this on this show, Bearable Guy 123. There are insiders inside of the financial sector that want people to gain generational wealth. And they basically give you hints. This company means this in the riddles. This company means this in the riddles. I didn't really know much for a while. And I actually took a break from crypto until 2024 while Biden was the president. I just zoned it all out for a while because nothing was happening. There was no movement in the crypto world. And then in 2024, in late November, I started investing in XRP again because I saw things were starting to pick up again at a different pace. I kind of thought that crypto was going to actually hit last year, but we all kind of jumped the gun on that. But regardless, I saw a YouTuber talking about Zebec Network being the ship in the riddles of Bearable Guy 123. And in that moment, I kind of had like a Jimmy Neutron brain blast moment. I was just like, what is going on? Where did this come from? And no one's talking about this online. And then I see XRP influencers, and I'm not going to name any of their names, that were talking badly about this company. And I knew right away that they were disingenuous and that this company is trying to change the world. And everyone on this podcast can feel the exact same thing, the same energy from this company. They definitely want to change the world. They have great intentions. And I mean, we're all here for the long haul. So I just hope everyone paying attention to our podcast doesn't think short term. And I hope I answered that question well enough.
You did. And I will say this. So what I'm getting from you guys is this is really cool. This is part of the community spotlight and the folks that make up a community. You guys are leaders in the Zebec community. As far as I could tell, you are the most active community that I've ever seen besides outside of XRP. To be honest, I just see you, and maybe it's because I'm following you now and I'm interacting and I see it. And I'm hoping with this series that I'm going to run across other communities that are equally as enthusiastic and educated surrounding the token or coins and blockchains that they are super enthralled with, right? And so what I believe is that our communities, when you put yourself in a little bit of a box, you don't see the outside world as clearly. And so I'm a real zoom out kind of person. And I'm someone that believes that it's not going to be one blockchain to solve all the world's problems, right? We're all going to be working together. And Payroll, and I will say this too, I've been in crypto since 2019, started out in Bitcoin, was not a meme token person, stayed away from NFTs, the whole 9 yards. I kind of believe I'm an XRP person. I felt like I was led to it by God, to be honest with you. And most of the people that I know feel the same way. The energy of the XRP community that I'm around, they all kind of say similar things. I'm seeing similar things with the Zebec Network, Zebec Nation, with being kind of guided and led into that. And again, as active as you are in your communities and wanting to spread the knowledge, because again, payroll is not sexy. It's very important. It touches every one of our lives. If you're a worker, you're touched by payroll. So I think it's really important for our communities, particularly the XRP community and the Zebec community, to kind of merge. And there's been several people out there that have talked about Zebec for quite some time, and just due to time constraints for myself, I don't dip my toe unless I actually learn, spend some time. And so it's like I was putting it off. And like you said, Mr. Forsyth, you're like, I didn't buy nearly enough is when I, found it. Same kind of thing, right? But we all learn and grow, and we're all early, if you ask me. But part of the thing I want to talk about before we start talking really about Zebec Network is the importance of the communities and bringing them together. And so I would love for you to explain how you guys all met, why you decided to form Zebec Nation and start your podcast. That's pretty darn awesome. And then we'll go from there talking about how important community really is to our plight, or to our mission, which it seems like we all seem to share a common goal, which is to help educate and inspire others in this digital asset space. So whoever wants to go first on that, go right ahead. We have 140 people, by the way.
Sweet. I nominate Z-Man because he was like
Let's get Z-Man up in the house.
Yeah, so it takes a whole community, as Brad Kimes has said, it takes a village. That's one of the things he says all the time. And going back to what you said, talking about that merging between communities, what better time than XRP Las Vegas, when the theme this year is XRP and everyone else. So it's not by chance. But going back to the Discord, we all come from different backgrounds. And I think whenever I first got onto X, okay, let's go back. Well, when I first got onto X and I became ZBCN, man, my first goal was to really promote YouTubers, because there was this disconnect between X and YouTubers. And if you look at a lot of YouTubers that they put out such incredible content, a lot of them don't get a lot of followers on X for some reason, but they'll have like tons of subscribers on YouTube. And so I was thinking to myself, where's the disconnect, and how are people on X not knowing who these people are? Because they're like a Mr. Forsyth or a Crypto Star Rail or a Crypto Neptune, or I can go on and on. That's just to name a few, aren't getting the views that they deserve. And what could I do to help that? And so as I started gaining followers, I really started promoting Mr. Forsyth. I would share all of his videos in Crypto Star Rail. And that was the beginnings of what would become Zebec Nation. And I had multiple people inbox me and say, hey, you should create a Discord. And here's the crazy thing. It's like, I didn't even know nothing about Discord other than one thing, right? And this is a funny story. I never told these guys this. My son, who is 15, is the hardest person in the world to get a hold of on his phone. He don't answer text messages or anything. But the boy is on Discord all the time with his homies. So I downloaded Discord for that reason, so that way I could like get a hold of Liam. Anyway, so I create the Discord because I was like, okay, let's do this. And I named it Zebec Nation because I wanted a place for ZBCN investors. And when I made it, it was all about, the goal was to bring ZBCN investors together in a place where we could all vibe off each other, have conversations, learn from one another, go through the rough days together, celebrate the great days together. And there's been a ton of red days since then. But it quickly grew to like over 600, and now it's nearly 700 now. And that was really the genesis of what Zebec Nation was, just a place that we could focus on ZBCN. Now it's grown, and we talk about other things in there too now. And in fact, I've kind of taken a step aside from the Discord being the owner of the Discord. And I turned it over to Zach, Captain Zach, and everyone knows him from X2. A huge shout out to Zach. He does a great job. He's a very loving person, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. But just to focus on the podcast, right, and these guys, because I'm trying to help grow my guys. So yeah, Zebec Nation came from a place where ZBCN investors could come together and just have a place together and talk about ZBCN.
I love it. I love it. Anybody else? How you stumbled upon ZBN? Did you guys know each other already?
I want to say something too. And for me, I'm one of those hard people to get a hold of. It's hard to get a hold of me. It's very hard. No one can really get a hold of me. And I have things coming at me from all directions, but I'm big on my spirituality and my time. I'm big on that and being one with God. I think for me, I caught ZBCN, man. I seen him posting my stuff on X, and then he would shoot me a message every now and then. And he even knows I don't check my messages. I'm hard to get in touch with. But what was genuine to me about these guys, I'm one of those energy people. I go off people's energy. I have discernment when it comes to people. And I trust my instincts. And with all of these guys, it just felt right. And I remember I disappeared for about a week, maybe even 2 weeks. And ZBCN, man, was asking around about me and checking in for me. And then when I came back, he asked me to be on the show. And believe it or not, he was the first show that I agreed to do. People always ask, but I had never done any. And it's no shade to anybody, but I go off my feelings. They never let me down. My discernment never lets me down. And I did the show. And then crazy enough, like a month later, he asked if I wanted to be a part of it long term. And it surprised me that I even said yes. It surprised me that I said yes, but it's a decision that I'm comfortable making because of the energy and everything is just right. We all gel well together. We gel well together so much, in fact, that I do call them brothers. So that's how I came upon them. Like he said, he was sharing things. And, you see it and you don't see it. And I wasn't on X like that, but it just felt right. And I'd always go with God.
I have to tell you, I am very similar to you, Mr. Forsyth. I go off my gut instinct all the time. And I actually told Z-Man, like, I don't know why, but I trust you. I got a good feeling from you. I gave him my phone number, and I don't give my phone number out. Yeah. I don't give my phone number out. And I said, I don't know why, but I'm connected. And this is what I say about this community and why I felt so connected already to the Zebec Nation, because you resonate with me. You resonate with me so much. And we are a predominant XRP audience, right? I want us to expand our horizons out a little bit. And most of us are, we don't just hold XRP. We are well-rounded and investors, if that's what you want to say, researchers and that sort of thing. And so I encourage all of you watching, there's 168 of you watching. If you haven't come across the Zebec Nation yet and watched their podcast, highly recommend that you watch some of their shows. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. And so, when you were talking, I'm like, you're talking about me, Mr. Forsyth, because I lead my gut leads me in this space. And I've been right most of the time about the people that I choose to interact with, the people that I choose to come on this show. I've dodged a bullet many times where they had to cancel, and it's like, then there's something weird happens, so God has my back. So I totally understand what you're saying. Anybody else have anything to say about this? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, even with your show, Z-Man hit me and said, hey, you wanna go on the show with all of us? And the same thing. I went off my gut and what I felt. Because again, I'm not easy to he'll tell you. But the same thing. It just felt something was like, you want to do that.
I'm gonna let 314 speak because I know he wants to. But I'm gonna say this real quick. The reason why what's happening is because there's a vision and then there's a follow through with the vision. And I've said this to every one of these guys, that God is guiding the steps and we're just following along. And we're going to stay on the path that he creates for us. And I'll let 314 speak.
Yeah, no, similar to Mr. Forsyth. I just come from, again, just like my background, my family. I've seen them do me wrong. I've seen them push me to where I've had to question, who am I? So I am one of those people where I have to, of course, do my own research, but also figure out what people's true intentions are. And being on X and just being on YouTube, anytime that you look up any type of project, there's always these influencers that want you to buy, not knowing that, of course, you become exit liquidity. They end up selling, and they just don't have true intentions. You see this transactional side of people rather than them actually trying to get to know you and trying to be more like a community-based type of person. So for me, whenever I was on X, I was like, okay. I started to see ZBCN man content, and I started to connect with some of the guys. But first, Mr. Forsyth, before he even got any type of way into Zebec at all, I was watching his content on all these different projects, and I was like, man, I love this guy. Like, I literally have followed him for years. Never thought that I would even be in the same room, let alone being able to text him or give him a phone call. It's just crazy. So I think we're all aligned in the true vision of what we want in our lives. And I think that energy just attracts. You know, I've never felt like once I got into this podcast that I was just questioning, you know, if anybody should be in it, if I should be in it. It just seemed like it was just people that I've known for a long time. And ZBCN man, he hit me up one time, and thanks to Throbbing, me and Throbbing, we were having DM messages. He was like, look, man, we're thinking about a podcast, and I really like you on. You know, you're one of the younger guys just like me, and I think, you know, it'd be good for us to do this. And I was like, look, man, if I get the invite, I'd love to be on, but I'm not going to insert myself, you know. So when ZBCN man was like, look, you know, I'd like for you to be one of our spotlight guests of the week, I was like, okay, here I come. And but first, he wanted everyone to shoot a video of what Zebec Nation meant to them. And similar to kind of what I said before, is I love people. You know, what I do for a living is sales. A lot of people, what I do every single day are always about, okay, what can you do for me? You know, and I mean, I don't mind doing things for people and not wanting anything in return. But what makes me very happy is when I'm around people who feel and act the exact same way. You know, I think just in a world, we should all be like that. We're humans, you know, we should all love each other. But there's so many things in life that is always meant to divide you or make you think differently. So this entire community, it just attracted me into my internal, you know, morals and beliefs. So that's why I'm here.
I love that. Z-Man.
Yes. I think you already asked him.
I thought he said he wanted to say something, but he wanted 314 to talk. So that's
no, that was it. I said it, and then I let 314 talk. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Awkward
Okay.
moment.
No problem. So this is the thing. How you guys feel about your community, we feel about the XRP community. It's same kind of deal where you're resonating with each other. And in fact, all the things you just said resonate. My body's tingling, like it's resonating. I'm sure people in the comments are, you know, it's resonating because we're speaking the same language, right? We care about people. We see the opportunity that's in front of us right now that most folks don't see. And so we're trying to get as many people on board as possible to seize the opportunity that is in front of them. However, the other day I was listening and someone said, you know, it's back to being chosen. Some of us were chosen to see. We have the eyes to see, and we were chosen for it. And sometimes it's hard to not to get others that don't see to see. And so the only thing we can do is the best we can do, and we're stronger together. So I just wondered your perspective on, you know, joining forces with a strong community like the XRP community, how you feel about that, and are you excited about it? And even realizing that, you know, we're not competing with one another. We are kind of moving towards the same direction, which is to help people, right? At the end of the day. So does anyone have any strong thoughts on that?
I saw a post yesterday, and it was a guy who was an XRP guy, and he was like, you know, every good army has a strong navy, and he was like, that's what ZBCN is to the XRP army.
Nice.
It's the fast moving ship like navy. So I thought that resonated with me a little bit. I thought that was great.
XRP army on top of the Zebec ship, and we're taking them where they need to go, to the front line, baby. Love it.
I love XRP.
You love XRP?
No, I was going to say I love that XRP because, again, I say this a lot. They've been doing this for a long time. They took the bumps and bruises that a lot of projects now get smooth sailing because they took those bruises. But if you look at their story and then you look at the Zebec story, it was meant to be. And I love the passion of the XRP army. It's the passion, and that's what reminds me. The Zebenites, they remind me of that. So I just bringing them two together is like peanut butter and jelly. I'm telling you, just bringing those two together, getting them together.
Peanut butter jelly time. It's peanut butter jelly time.
Like,
peanut butter jelly time for real.
Yeah. This partnership from Zebec and XRP, I think really it's like Shaq and Kobe in their prime, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. I really do believe these two companies are built for each other.
You know,
I believe it's going to break the internet.
It really is going to break
Let's
the
talk
internet.
about this because and this is why I say community engagement, us coming together, expanding your horizons. If you're passionate about one certain project, that's great. We all need to learn and have conviction and understanding, but we also need to be able to expand our thinking and look at and zoom out and look at the bigger picture on how the world works. And from my zoomed out position, I see a world that's working together to make a difference. And, you know, the whole infrastructure is changing. The economy, the digital economy, and all of that stuff, it's going to be working together. And there are lots of companies that are creating different projects that maybe do the same thing. However, I am an advocate for choice. I want choice. I don't want one blockchain to rule them all. You know, how they scare us and say we're all going to be locked down and, you know, all this stuff. I want to have a choice. And so the more that you can learn about these projects that are building tools for the real person to use, the better. And the fact that Zebec we'll talk about this a little bit later, but the fact that there's rumblings with them and XRP is very significant. And like you said, with XRP, a Ripple taking the bumps and bruises along the way, setting precedents. Why? They were powerful. They had enough money behind them to fight it. A little guy can't fight it. A little guy like Zebec coming up and trying to build their company might have been taken out. And you know what? That's what they did over history with small startup companies that had great ideas. They took them from them. They took the companies, took the ideas. They bankrupted these people. Why? They don't have the money to fight. And all it takes is one person to go, boo, we're going to sue you. And then boom, the whole thing collapses. And then somebody takes their ideas and runs with it in the control. In my eyes, what Ripple did was they fought the lawsuit. They created the precedents so that now the other projects can work and understand what's happening, know what they can and cannot do, and be a little bit more freely to work in concert with some of these other projects and know that they're not going to get in trouble or sued. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I just want to say a couple things that I want to make a couple points based off what you said before. One, if you think you're in a project that's the end all that be all, you're probably wrong. And you probably should not be invested in crypto if you don't understand how crypto works. And that goes for anything, right? You shouldn't invest in anything if you don't even understand how it works. Interoperability is the word that we have to keep using here, because every single thing in the new financial system is interoperable, meaning it's all going to work together. And so if one rises, another one's probably going to rise along with it. They just have different price points and market caps. But at the end of the day, to have that mindset, and I mean, here's the thing, like I used to be a very tribal person too. The success with Zebec Nation truly came when the tribalism ended and we tried to start bringing together communities. And I think this is our time right now. And XRP Las Vegas is going to be that time to truly show how we can bring two very strong communities together. One that has fought since 2017 and on to be what they are today, which is, the project that everyone strives to be like. And then seeing a project like Zebec Network that's truly out there trying to change people's lives and bringing those two communities together.
I'd like to add something to that. When you look at these VCs, and let's just take it to Shark Tank, right? You got Damon, you got Mark Cuban, you got Mr. Wonderful, you got Lori. They all work together. They'll go on deals together. These VC firms, believe it or not, they share a lot of commonalities. They partner together. So when you take a step back and look at what the billionaires do, billionaires stick to billionaires. Their friends are other billionaires. Millionaires, they stay within the same circles. So whenever we as investors are very tribal, it makes no sense, because just like in my previous segment, you have Solana and XRP. People are talking about Solana better than XRP, XRP better than Solana, just for them to come out and say, hey, we're working together, 589, wrapped XRP on Solana. So that is, of course, what I really love about, platforms like you, and what we're looking to do is bridge these communities, because we truly do see everybody having an opportunity to really gain generational wealth. And it's right in front of us if we could just get out of our own way and protect yourself for crypto wealth, baby.
Get out of your own way.
I was about to say that. What you're basically saying is we're teaching people how to get out of their own way. You can't be tribal. You can't. And I always say the investors or the retail, they do more fighting amongst themselves. My token is better than your token. No, my token is better than your token. And then you have the people that sit above that are working together.
It's all a distraction.
Yeah.
It's all a distraction. And this is one of the things that I really, a lot of the XRP community, and I'm sure the Zebec community as well, once you graduate and you're learning, okay, you all have explained that you've graduated. I've graduated since you start out at the beginning, I was learning about Bitcoin, and this was like, this is what I knew. And then I started opening that window a little bit. And I'm like, holy smokes, what's over here? What's over there? And you realize that there's a whole big world out there, and they're all working together. And when you understand the magnitude of what's happening with the transition of the financial system, and you realize that the whole world is working together, and it's not just about the United States. It's not, like you open that door, you're like, holy smokes. And, there are people out there that are placed purposely to distract you and to incite you. And my view as a strong community is someone who recognizes that it's the BS that it is. And what do? We don't give it attention. We don't participate, because if you don't feed the fire, it doesn't grow. Don't give it air. That's how I look at it. So wonder what your position on that is.
We need to take that advice.
I roll in the mud. I roll in the mud sometimes with my sometimes. But I think the issue is, if you're not dealing with bots, people, and this is a personal problem why I say people, you really need to work on yourself, because if things trigger you that somebody is talking about, or if somebody is not talking about the project that you want them to talk about and talking about ZBCN, and it triggers you, that's a personal issue.
Yeah.
That is a personal problem. And I tell people, if you're triggered with things like that, you can trace that back outside of crypto, because to truly be successful in crypto, you're going to have to be successful in other areas of your life, else you're not going to know what to do with it. So I try to focus on you got to focus on this in order to, if we get you in the right projects like ZBCN and all of that, and we talk about this a lot on the Zebec Nation podcast, one of the most important things people need to know is, okay, what are you going to do with that money? What are you going to do with your gains? Do you have a plan for what you're going to do with your XRP money? What kind of plans do you have? Because what I don't want people to end up, I don't want them to learn a valuable lesson that I had to learn in my life 3 or 4 times. So, yeah, it's all about working on yourself. And then, and doing the research, of course. But you got to, like, who said they sacrificed? It was, who said that you? Exactly. Samurai said that, you see how he said he moved back in his parents' house? He sacrificed and he was DCN and all of that. That's a solid plan, but that's someone that knows that this is what I need to do.
I also sold my sports car that I got off of Doge. and put it into CBCN.
I hope people listening on Dip to Toe. I hope y'all listening to that. That's conviction.
I didn't need it anymore. I didn't need it anymore because I'm gonna get like 100 sports cars and like.
That's conviction. Hey, that's conviction right there.
Mainly joking, but I did sell the car. It hurts a little bit, but it's still worth it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna find somebody requested me to post your channel in the chat, which I will, unless one of you guys do. So we're getting to the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. So we got a little bit of like about an hour left, and I definitely want to start diving in to Zebec because I'm not sure if most of our audience knows, although we've got 268 people in this stream right now. That shows you the force of the Zebec Nation, because I'm sure a lot of your followers your watchers are here. Please follow the Dip and Toe Show, please. We would really appreciate it. And we're gonna yes, like let's unite together. But so let's dive into Zebec 101. I want to kind of keep this as simple as possible. Like, you know, we might get a little deep, but I want it to be understandable for people that are dipping their toe. So if one of you, I don't know who would be the best, but in one or two sentences, what is the Zebec Network and what problem does it aim to solve?
All right, I'll start, but I can't do one or two sentences, but I'll make it simple for you.
No problem. You can say as much as you want.
So I'll take a page out of Brad Garlinghouse's book. You know, most people don't think about getting paid every 2 weeks, or in some places get paid once a month. And that's because of the friction of payments. I think we can all see the shift from Web 2 to Web 3 simply because blockchain and stablecoins can not only enable payments to be faster, but also cheaper. And with that, it solves a lot of intricate use cases. Zebec's main use case, of course, payroll. But more than just payroll, it streams payroll. So if you think about getting paid, you're getting paid by the second, by the minute, by the hour. Now, would you want to necessarily get paid by the second, by the minute, by the hour? Probably not. But there's a lot of things to say about whenever you make the money, it's yours. You should have the ability to choose, like you said, choice, how you get paid. If you want to get paid by the second, that should be something, you should be wanting to do. And the money gets taxed every 2 weeks. So you don't really get to see the full benefit of your paycheck, and the people who's holding your money accumulate yield on that. So Zebec being able to solve a multi-trillion-dollar issue, I think that is something that is very attractive. You know, when you're talking about the US, we're talking 10, 11 trillion dollars. And you go globally, you're talking 40, 50 trillion dollars. So when you talk about a company that's 200, 300 million market cap, it has so much that it can gain while it's being the leading stablecoin payroll provider in all of Web3. So what I'd like to get at really quick before the next person jump in is when you're talking about streaming payroll, that utility is continuous settlement. So when you're talking about by the second, by the minute, by the hour, that is settlement being transacted continuously. You're programming the money, you're giving it logic. And that utility can be moved into other use cases like Netflix, Hulu, Peacock. So many people, they watch streaming services. So if you watch Netflix, how about you pay for what you watch rather than paying for the monthly subscriptions? How many people have paid $20 a month, $40 a month, and it adds up? So why don't you, if you only watch Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, only pay for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Or if you go to the gym, you have a QR code whenever you scan, why don't you pay for the seconds you're in the gym? Or even more than that, if you're a creator, why don't you get paid for the streams that people are listening to your music? These are all the different intricate use cases that Zebec's continuous settlement usage model, solves for. you know, and there's so many different things that you could talk about, even down to the agentic payments. You know, when you talk about micro payments and little fractions of a dollar, these is exactly the rails that the agentic economy needs. They need rails that is going to, you know, settle micro streams, you know, and when you get into the interledger protocol, that's exactly the use case that the transport layer was, you know, built on. But that's just a little bit about, you know, Zebec Network.
Anyone else?
How do you follow up on that? That was perfect.
I have one thing to add, though.
Yeah, please.
And why I do believe that it's a no-brainer that companies will adopt this. There's no doubt, because if you look at the cost of ACH payments right now and the delay 1 to 3 days, typical ACH payment 20 cents to $1.50, whereas blockchain can solve that for less than $1 and less and less and less than that. And that's why businesses will adopt this, because it saves them money. It saves them a ton of money. Think of a company like Amazon or Microsoft or on and on that employs thousands of people, and the amount of money they will save alone just in streaming payroll using Zebec's network to do that. It's a no-brainer why businesses will take this on.
Yeah.
Now I want to compound on top of that. Now you take what they said. Here's what I want everyone who's listening to understand about what they just said. They just not only explained Zebec in a quick elevator speech, but they're telling you why this is the shift that finance is going to. If people watching this, I want you to think about Netflix. I want you to think about Blockbuster. Think about Blockbuster. You never would have even imagined somebody coming along and making people lazier, but they made it to the point where you can. I remember when I first seen that Blockbuster, not Blockbuster, but Netflix, you're mailing your movies in. I was like, well, this is cool. And then they went, next thing you know, now people don't even leave their house. That was a shift. That right there was a shift in the times and the technology. You're seeing that same shift right now with Zebec. Now imagine, there's so many people out there that live paycheck to paycheck. And the reason they live paycheck to paycheck is because you have to wait like 2 weeks to get your pay. Now imagine light bills and how much you could pay down on certain things and not have to borrow money or go somewhere and get these highway robbery payday loans. Now you're getting your money 24/7, and you can use that money maybe to pay down on some debt, and you don't have to borrow money. That right there is value, and that's why ZBCN stands out, because it's something that people will use because they're going to see the benefit of it. That right there alone just puts a gold glow around it for me. And then you add XRP to that, and it's a wrap.
I will tell you, so several years ago, I want to say it was Odyssey, was a platform. There were a couple of different platforms that were playing around with the streaming, with the by the second. And that's always intrigued me. I think it is going to happen. I wasn't aware that Zebec was part of the thing. But just through watching different people build stuff on the XRP ledger with the different use cases and the things that you can build, I know that even though something is built for this thing, doesn't mean that this thing can't be used over here for this thing, right? And so what you just described was a whole bunch of use cases that could be used with what they've built already, if I'm understanding you correctly.
You're correct. And you're seeing what people is seeing, and they don't even realize, at least those in crypto, they're seeing that whole Blockbuster Netflix shift. You're seeing it right here at the beginning stage. And so many people are going to look back and say, damn, because I did that with Netflix. When I saw Netflix, when I first saw them, I was like, man, I would love to invest in this, because I believe, I just didn't know they was going to go as far as they did.
Didn't know.
So now on finance, you're talking payroll? Yeah, payroll. Payroll is not sexy, but it is to when you're talking ZBCN and getting paid around the clock. That's hella sexy.
I'd like to make one more point in regards to the streaming technology, because I mean, it's so pivotal in like so many blockchains and companies and enterprises. But think about your mortgage. You know, you get paid. Let's say you get paid by the second, by the minute, by the hour, right? And your mortgage is due by the end of the month. You can stream some of them funds to take some of that interest away from your mortgage payment. You know, it's so many use cases you could use. So no, I just get very excited when I talk about innovative things that can change the world. You know, super cool.
And you want everybody to know about it.
Yeah,
you want as many people as you can to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
He cooks every single night. Like I get a good night message from him every night, because up until 11 o'clock, he's deep diving. He's one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. And I'm so blessed to have him a part of this team, along with everyone else too. But one of the other things.
Oh, I was gonna say, we got 311 people watching the show, you guys.
And people will throw this out there too. Why can't other companies do this? Because Zebec has the technology and they're able to take taxes out of your paychecks worldwide.
Yeah,
they have that technology.
They have patents.
Well, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the deal. So, because I do payroll, right? Okay, you either got to do it manually yourself. If you could create payroll and you still have to do your own taxes yourself, or you have a payroll provider like Intuit, for example. People that use QuickBooks, a lot of times they use Intuit Payroll. Why? Because Intuit Payroll has the technology to be able to calculate the taxes, do the returns, submit it to where it needs to go. The end user, I don't know. I'm just doing my payroll and it's happening for me. That takes it out of my hands from having to calculate that payroll for each employee, like we used to have to do manually, figure out how much money we got to send, and then manually do the form and manually send it. So that type of thing has been fixed already. However, it has not been fixed already with this, what you're talking about. While we have moved with being able to do payroll and getting next day payroll, like we're into it to the point where it's like I can process payroll and next day it's direct deposited. So we're making strides there. But the concept of doing it straight, like, by the second or by the minute, like it depends on who's going to use what. The way that I'm understanding this Zebec system, they would use that technology. Someone like myself, using accounting software, processing payroll, we don't even know what's happening on the back end. All we know on the face is when I create payroll now, you're getting paid every day, and it's streaming every day to that person's payroll. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
And is this active in use right now, or no? Not yet.
Active in use, because Zebec provides on-chain payroll and payment streaming services that are specifically designed for tax compliance, allowing for automation of tax withholding and reporting.
And what's really cool about all of this is it goes back to our backers, right? So for people that are not familiar, Circle and Coinbase are some really good investors. Or you can talk about Lightspeed. We could talk about Gemini. We could talk about obviously Solana and all these, but you have to look at our advisor team. We have ADP C-suite advisors on our team. And one of our advisors that are very close to us is Lisa Robbins, and she helped us gain PayBridge. So most people don't know that we actually own and acquired an actual payroll company that is leading and paying charter schools, leading and paying teachers and students. And those teachers are teaching people, how to accept stable coins and what a stable coin is. So this is actually stuff that is going on in real time today. I'm sure you saw the number as far as the annual volume. It's $500 million.
That's some test.
And Simon said real quick before the end of this year he expects it to hit over $1 billion.
See,
you want to explain who Simon is, because we didn't get to that part. But let's talk. No worry. No, not absolutely. I was going to skip over it, to be honest with you, but just you want to talk just briefly about who created Zebec and what his name is? And
So,
that sort of
so the founder of Zebec was Sam, but the current CEO of Zebec Network is Simon Babakani, and he started off in venture capitalist firms just like Rare Capital. You go back Wyman or Parthenon. That's where his background is. He's a Wall Street guy, venture capitalist side, and so he has a great mind for these things. And so he's been a great leader since taking over the helm of the Zebec Network. And you started seeing all these partnerships coinciding with his takeover as the CEO. And he's just done a hell of a job.
When was Zebec founded? What year?
2021.
2020.
Okay, sorry.
What I want to add, I want the people in the chat and just everyone listening to look at it from this way too. Everything that 314 just laid out for you, their advisory team. I want you to think of it like this, because some people hear advisory team, okay. He named some really heavy hitters that are advisors to them. And the thing I want people to understand is when you're evaluating crypto companies, you want to look at things like that because you're talking about advisors who already have major resumes behind them. They are not going to lend their name to a company that doesn't have the potential, that they don't want to succeed. So I hear people always say, well, how come someone can't come along and do it? I'm not saying other people can't do the things like that, but they don't have the connections that Zebec have. And unfortunately, we're in the world of it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, there's patents involved too that also stands out. That not necessarily there's patents that the founder or co-founder Sam Tapalia has that separates Zebec apart. But just to kind of piggyback off of him, it is something that people could do, but the moat is just spreading and spreading and spreading. There's a reason why Ripple and Zebec has this synergy, because they recognize that they're leaders in their own right, and when you come together, like I said, it's going to be then global domination.
Like
game recognizes game, right?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, so and then this is the other thing too. For those of you that are XRP enthusiasts, you already understand that about looking at the connections. When Trump has the crypto committee coming in his office, who are the faces? Who are sitting there behind? Who are the players? These are all very important indications of who's going to be successful at the end of the day, who's getting that support. You mentioned a lot of people already that I know were in that room, right? The same people that were in the room when we get excited about things that XRP, Ripple are doing. Those people are also in the room with Zebec. So there is that overlap. And it's not just these two coins. There's a lot more than just our two. But did you want to say something, Z-Man?
Yeah, and all these people in these rooms, they back winners. At the end of the day, they're in it to make money, just like the retail side. They're investing in winners, and Zebec Network's a winner. If the same people are investing in Ripple, that are investing in Zebec Network, you got yourself some winners.
Yeah,
I tell people all the time, evaluate your circle. Learn from these companies. What did he say? He says everyone in that room, they back winners. I believe people should do that in your own lives. You should look at your circle of people. And if they're not going, if you don't have people that's above where you're trying to go, or at least going in the same direction, you need to reevaluate your circle.
One thing I wanted to say, I want to ask you guys, is it true that Zebec supports 18 plus chains and 150 plus tokens now starting on Solana? Is that true?
Yeah, no. So we're 22 chains and counting. Our CEO said that he could see 30. But the whole premise of Zebec is to be chain agnostic. And I'm sure you've seen that we're doing payroll for not only Solana, but we moved over to Stellar Lumens. World Liberty has chosen us as their stablecoin payroll partner. You've heard of Deutsche Bank. They chose us for the real-time payroll partner. And as you can see, the rumblings are happening with Ripple, and it looks like to be trending in that direction as far as Payroll. But as far as 150 countries, yes.
Wow. So that was one of my questions that I had. This is not just United States. This is worldwide that you guys are kind of, I consider everything a beta test right now. Until we're firing on all cylinders, to me, we're testing this stuff out. They test it out in these smaller countries or less developed countries. They run the test. They see how things go before they bring it to a extremely populated area like the United States to really, plug it all in and get these businesses to switch over. My question is, so if you support 18 or you said 22 chains, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean in terms of, so like on Solana, you want, what does that mean that you support the chain? That's the question.
Yeah, so our product suite is not just Payroll, but we have cards. And these cards are virtual cards that will allow you to spend the crypto that you own. So let's just say you have stable coins and you wanted to go to a grocery store or something, right? You have all these blockchains that you can choose to opt in for. So if you have, let's say, XRP tokens, and you wanted to go to the gas station and you wanted to, say, pay an XRP, that would be one of the tokens that you can use if you wanted to do so. But what it will do within that product suite is it would auto convert that XRP to a stable coin. So if it's ROUSD, that would be the conversion model, like obviously dollar stablecoin, and it would transact out that. So you have 22 chains. And then with that on our cards, let's just say, because AI comes into play in all of the product suite. Let's just say you want to get paid. You ask your AI, hey, I want Bitcoin, or hey, I want Aleo, or I want whatever blockchain that we support. It can autonomously bridge that asset to whatever it is that you want. So the 22 chains is our product suite, but we will be able to do Payroll for more than just the 22 chains. It's going to be almost everybody.
It will be everybody. Kind of going back to what you were talking about before, Southeast Asia. It's one of the big markets that Zebec Network hit late last year, early this year, and they had a partnership with Facet Bank, which is a neobank, and the gig market in Southeast Asia is huge. It's huge, and that's one of the best testings of the service is in an area like that for the gig workers, because that real-time streaming payments, payrolls, and all that works perfectly in that environment. And Facet Bank is massive, and most people don't even know about Facet Bank, but it's 1 million plus users, $7 billion in volume in 2025, and they support over 125 countries. That's just one of the other partnerships that Zebec Network has. Not to mention Canton, not to mention, we can go on and on with all these banks, and that's kind of like, if you look at what Ripple's doing, and a lot of the XRP community out there, they know that Ripple's going to become a bank. And so it only makes sense to bring Zebec Network on to some extent, to some level, to help support that. And I'll say
apparently that. we're gonna break 0.003, which is pretty cool, because I think I was like 2.6 or whatever. I think when I'm a proud ZBN holder now. In this past week, I took the plunge and I did it. I'm texting Will like, what's the best place? And you guys talked about Uphold. I personally like Uphold quite a bit. They're one of the only platforms that continue to sell XRP throughout all of the craziness. They're also offering Zebec, which you can't get it just anywhere. So for those of you who are interested in looking it up, you can get it on Uphold. So if you have an Uphold account, let her rip. Go check it out. Financial advice.
Hey, for all your followers, what made you buy Zebec?
What made me buy it? Number one, it's Payroll. It's Payroll. I've known about it for several years. Someone put it in the chat. Coffee Time and Boardroom. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Uncle Buster and Berserker and Nerdy, but they have a show called The Boardroom, and they have Coffee Time. They've been talking about Zebec for a while. a really while. And I've known that it was something that I was interested in looking more into, if for the real world use case, right? I like to look into things and buy into things that have real world use case. I don't tend to go with the meme coin thing. I might do some NFTs if they have utility, but Zebec, with the payroll, the strength of the community, the information that was out there available for me to cross-reference, the partnerships that you talked about, the banking, the yada, yada, yada. I saw like parallel to XRP community in terms of like checking the boxes. Does this check off? Does this check off? That's why I did it. Plus I was like, they're going to be at the XRP Las Vegas on stage. So come on, guys. On stage, baby. There's gotta be a there. You know what I'm saying?
Right after Brad Garland House.
And then there's an hour break.
Well,
let you marinate. Let it marinate.
All right. We're going to be all over the place, but I want to talk about this right now because it's bringing up. Okay, I was going to like really go into the Zebec and how it works and all that stuff, and we'll talk about that because I do want to know about the tokenomics of the token because that's what people are buying into is the token. I want to understand how that works. But before we get to that part, let's talk about XRP Las Vegas and the fact that Simon is going to be on stage right after Brad Garling House. That's a pretty significant thing. And I'm wondering that there's like rumblings. Ripple posted or Zebec posted that they went to Ripple's offices just the other day. What's the story, Glory? What's happening? What do you think?
Someone else, go ahead, Brock. What you think, Lantern?
Okay. What do I think about Simon posting the picture at Ripple? I mean, he's just posting more breadcrumbs for everyone to kind of let it marinate until XRP Vegas in a week and a half.
Yeah.
You don't want to give away anything.
Hey, and not only that, on the spaces today, he talked about he hung out in the London office for the entire day, and he believes, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, if I misheard this, but he said that this is probably the biggest, partnership that they've had.
Biggest announcement they've had.
The biggest announcement they've had in a couple of years.
Yeah.
This is going to be me in Vegas.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're seeing it in real time. You're seeing it happen in real time. And I just want everyone, I'm not telling anybody to buy anything. Exactly. I just want them to at least put it on their radar.
Well, what you got to say is if you know Simon does not want to just drop that major button whatsoever. It's like Brad Garling House. What he says, you listen to it, and if you hear some keywords you've never heard before, then you should definitely hold on tight.
They always come back. I was shocked that he put a picture up. I was really shocked. So it must be something, the fact that he put that picture up.
In fact, he said major announcement on the space before this last one today. Simon always brings what he does what he says, and he's delivered every single time. And that's the first time I've ever heard him say a major announcement. So this is going to be pretty earth-shattering, I believe, for the crypto space, especially for the XRP community and the ZBCN community. I know there's some other great, like Flair is going to be there and all that too, but like this is major for our two communities, and we are going to witness history.
This might be a stupid question, but does anyone think Ripple would just flat out acquire Zebec?
I mean, listen, I will tell you this.
I'm just asking.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes, I do. I will tell you this. The reason why I say that is we did a show on Digital Ladies Unscripted where they talked about all of the acquisitions. Brad Garling House said this is the merger and acquisition season, right? And so they did. So a lot of heavy hitters. Not saying that they're going to. But if the opportunity came about, do you think that they would do that? Yeah, I do. If the offer was on the table, do I think that they would want to eat up this type of technology And do I think it is an accent, an asset and a complement to what they've already built? Yes. Do I think it's going to be used for a lot of use cases? Yes. So, yeah, it's possible. That's probably not what somebody hopes in the Zebec Nation, though. You know, you don't want to be
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
With, you know, and I asked this of one of our last guests that we had on Zebec Nation podcast. I asked this of XRP Dad. So I want to ask you, because you really tapped in with the XRP community. Mm-hmm. With Simon being on the stage there and those two communities coming together, how do you feel the XRP community will react to something with Zebec?
I think positively. You know, this is the thing. The people that go to the XRP Las Vegas conferences, these are not anybody that sees the negative and the weirdos that are on there blowing smoke up your butt about price and, you know, all these things. Those, they don't go to the conferences. They don't show their faces. Okay. The people that go to the XRP Las Vegas conference, they are grounded, well-rounded individuals who understand how business is done. And when they see, they encourage it. When they see a company like Zebec or Flare Network, they're excited about it. Why? Because they see the bigger picture. So I believe they will be well received. People are going to be excited and want to hear what they have to say. So yeah, you guys are going to be welcomed with open arms from the XRP community. Totally.
I hope so. This is my first crypto conference.
Oh, you're going to love it, my friend. Dude, you are going to love it. You are absolutely going to love it. I'm telling you, these people are solid. I've been to several of them. I've been to different conferences over my time in crypto, and there's nothing like an XRP Las Vegas conference or an XRP meetup or whatever. The people are the ones that have the courage to show their faces and just go to these events. These are very intelligent, well-rounded people.
Shout out to Brad Grimes.
I'm just saying, there's a lot, like I say, there's pot stirrers that are on the internet. There are influencers on the internet that have, you know, seemingly 200,000 followers, and it's going to go to $1,000, $10,000 and all this stuff. And they put out the bad, you know, it's like, whatever, who watches that? Okay. We all watched them for a hot second. Because why? You dip your toe, but like I say, we graduated. You're going to be going into a room full of graduated folks that those people are, we don't care about those people that say that stuff.
And shout out to the entire XRP army. These past few weeks have been phenomenal. Just the amount of love that you've shown the ZBCN community, the Zebec Nation, phenomenal. You know, like just so many influential people in the XR community showing love to us, and we're truly thankful for that. And we're looking forward to meeting a lot of you in real life.
There is expressed interest for the link to your Discord because the one on your YouTube has expired. So you must have one of those that you know that you got to update. So if one of you could post it in the live chat, or if you post it in the private chat, I can post it in the private chat, and then maybe I can post it for you.
I did that tried to do that like 10 minutes ago, and it wouldn't let me post it in the live chat.
I don't know why that happens, but yeah. Okay. So, all right. Is that the Discord? Oh, I see.
What if I posted underneath the video on X?
Yeah, absolutely. You could do that. Let me see.
Samurai, go ahead. You can do that
here. Here we go. I just posted what you put in the private chat, guys. That should be the link there for their Discord. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, we've got like 25 minutes left or so. Where do we want to go with this? I really want to talk about the token, because that is someone's going to dip their toe into buying this ZBN token. What is it? What's the utility of it? Like, what do holders actually get today from holding this token? Is it an investment or what?
It's definitely an investment, but the one thing that sets this token apart from most others, it's totally deflationary. It's all in circulation, and not too many tokens can say that. But I'll let anyone else speak on this. I just want to say that it's deflationary. Started March 16th, totally deflationary.
Okay, YouTube and X. I guess we can cut it here. XRP Army for Life and Zebec are number one together. Tyran Copeland, what's going on with you, fam? XRP Zebec Financial Global Takeover. Nucci? New Richie? What's going on? Thanks for joining. CKJ Crypto News put me on Zebec. CKJ is the hidden jewel for real, the hidden jewel finder. New Energy podcast. Welcome in. What up, New Energy? Shout out to CKJ Boozilla. Shout out to Boozilla. We being in the front. What is this? XRP Army for Life. And I was gonna do XRP video probably later today. Gotta wait and see. Hello, people in community. What up, Crypto Joe? Crypto Joe, welcome. Silver Days, glad to be part of the Zebecian Army. Thank you, Tyran Copeland. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate. Just trying to keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. Let's see here. What else we got? Bought a truck load of Zebec last year when the Korean exchange delisted it. Couldn't believe my luck. Really? What up, 23 Bamble? What up, Toshi? And the conference is gonna be lit. Cajun Crypto. Definitely. We need to figure out how we can get out there, bro, so we can be live. Make sure you sign up for the BTM Crypto News Network. And we are live. Let's check the bubbles one more time. Down to 10.8%, but in a market that is mostly red. That is pretty good. So currently we're still at the 0030. So as long as we stay above the, what was it? The 003. What was it? What was that? As long as we stay above, yeah, the 003, 0033 and 0036, we are good to go. But this is the final take. ZBCN is over the 003. It's exciting, not because the number is magic, but because it lines up with a broader attempt by Zebec to become a serious crypto payment infrastructure. The super app ties together payroll, cards, staking, and treasury. The tokenomics pushes the idea of a post unlock venue linked buyback supported token model. Recent announcements around Stellar, USD1, Payroll, and Base help the market imagine a Zebec as a bigger platform. So the weekend setup's clean. Hold above the breakout zone, and the bulls will start streaming for continuation. Lose the zone, and the market probably cools off a bit. But one thing is clear. Zebec has given traders and investors much more serious story to debate than it had before. And in crypto, some stronger story is exactly what unlocks a stronger chart. Now tell me in the chat, is Zebec just getting started, or is this where the market gets cute and tries to shake everybody out before the real move? And I think it's the second one. I think this is the shakeout. They're going to try to be cool and shake everyone out so they can buy it up cheap and then sell it right back to you once it pumps. And Cajun Crypto, I have talked to CKJ about a collab, but I need to circle back with him. How you guys? It'd be crazy busy, man. Literally crazy busy. But I'll hit up Boozilla and see if he wants to do something, especially before the Vegas event. That'd be pretty cool. But thanks for joining, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and help spread the channel. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. Peace in hair grease. Miners out.